And we're live in the new year. Good day, everybody. Welcome to Beard United
God damn.
and Big E's little tiny dog. Big E's little tiny dog.
Don't fucking show PETA any of this shit.
Yeah. So first BDU of the year. We'll probably have another one maybe Wednesday, which is our usual day. I just happened to be off for the weekend, so I figured, hey, let's do something. All the cool kids stay at home on the weekend. All the cool kids stay at home. That's right.
Yeah, no one's buying it.
No one's buying it. Okay, I thought I'd try. I thought maybe somebody would buy it. I should have put the black headphones on because I hate these white headphones. I hate cell phone headphones.
Reversed racist.
Yeah, you're right. I am. I am. I hate things that have no pigment. So I hate myself. Yeah. So first and foremost, I guess there's some beer news that is out there right now. So let's go talk about the beer news that's out there right now. There's a lot of new stuff coming out of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. Lots of new breweries apparently going to be starting up or setting up shop. Lots of them getting their licenses. Um, do you know about any of them there, Lisa?
No.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
so out of the loop. So,
I feel like we're infringing upon Todd's maritime beer.
yeah,
I get sued.
dude.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable.
What do we have? Grim Ross Brewing opens a standalone brewery. Uh, Trailway Brewing now open in Fredericton.
I've heard of Grim Ross.
Oh, here's an interesting one. I don't remember if we did this on Beer Dweebs United or if we just ranted about it on the Albino Rhino Beer Review page and in private messages. But if everybody remembers the story about Stack Brewing getting a phone call from Moosehead saying change your name of Angry and Friendly Moose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they did change their branding, and their Imperial IPA, which was Angry Moose, is now Stack 72 to commemorate the Inco Stack, which was started in '72, and the regular IPA, the Friendly Moose, is Shattercone because that's the name of a weather thing that happens in Sudbury. So really, I think those names could have been better. They could have still been something that kept the two of them together. Since originally you were playing on them being the Angry and Friendly Moose, but you know what? It's great to see that they were really quick on picking out new names.
Yeah, nice to see they spent a whole fucking 20 seconds figuring it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, they kind of had to be, It's not like they could sit on it for a year and try to think of some shit. Fuck you, Moosehead, by the way. Fuck you.
I still say the greatest thing about that whole thing is that it was the owner that gave him a call. He wasn't rude about anything. He wasn't, oh my god, we're going to sue you right now.
Yeah, but still, were they really infringing on Moosehead's copyright? I don't think so.
I don't know, but you gotta be fucking dumb as rocks to put moose in being in Canada, put moose on anywhere in your beer, knowing that exists. I mean, from the beginning, that's just a dumb move. I mean, regardless of whether they are infringing upon the copyright, it still seems just kind of stupid.
Okay, fuck Moosehead and fuck Stack Brewing. Fuck them both.
Yeah, they're both dumb. On a scale of 1 to 10, dumb.
I'm bringing a lot of hatred this year. A lot more this year.
That was on my New Year's resolution. Hate.
The only other real news story out right now in the beer world that we didn't touch on was we talked about this before, sort of, because it was the union boss that we talked about. The union boss blaming it all on craft beer.
Oh yeah.
Molson Coors to shut down the bottling line in Vancouver plant. So this is now coming from Molson Coors instead of just the union boss. But the new province newspaper reports that Molson Coors will be shutting down the bottling line in the Vancouver plant in early 2015. The plant will continue to produce cans and kegs, with bottled products sent in from Toronto and Montreal based on demand, which just seems like a lot of extra work instead of just bottling line still. But anyway, according to a Molson Coors spokesperson, there are a number of factors that have led to this decision, including the large increasing popularity of canned beer in BC. with 68% of domestic beer in the province being sold in that format in 2013, as well as growing craft beer sales and the increase of government subsidiaries encouraging small brewers' growth through tax incentives. Layoffs are expected, although the exact number of affected staff has yet to be confirmed by the company. For more details, see the full article in the province. Again, the only thing I feel bad for in this is the people losing their jobs. Other than that, whatever.
What?
Oh, go ahead, Lee.
I was going to say, what can you do? I mean, you got big craft breweries like Granville Island over there in BC. They're just fucking with their sales. Oh, wait. That's your pseudo-craft brewery.
I'll just say is one of the factors being, I don't know, stupid, aka stupidity, because that seems like one of the factors.
Make better beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of it. I was just going to weigh in because we have a similar situation. You know, we have a sister plant, another part, you know, in the U.S. When it comes to shutting down bottling lines, it's about basic performance and cost, and that facility is obviously not, you know, up to snuff compared to the Toronto facility. So like, hey, we're just going to move everything to Toronto. Everything's about money. If it's cheaper for them to do it out of Toronto, Montreal, to shut a line down, you know, and depending on obviously volume and needs, that's what it comes down to. It's money. It has nothing to do with demand, because there's demand all over the country. It's just that line in particular is the one that's underperforming. So down she goes.
That line was shown in the Undercover Boss episode, that you could see that bottling line in use, and they had a lot of bottles just exploding for no reason or falling off the line. So the line probably hasn't been maintained very well either.
Yeah, that's entirely possible, sure. So I mean, they're probably cutting corners. Hey, we can't perform otherwise. We're going to cut corners and be profitable by, you know, showing in the black on maintenance, right? So we're just not going to take care of shit, and that's how we'll perform, because otherwise we're not making it. So, you know, you just cut your nose to the, what is it? Cut off your nose, spite your face type situation. So.
You know what I just realized, and I want to slap him right now for his fucking avatar is that stupid white whale.
It's great.
Did your chitlins draw that for you?
No, they did not.
That would have made it better.
It'd help if it was actually white and not a blue whale, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the blue whale, the biggest mammal on the planet, the biggest whale you can catch.
Yeah.
It's real. It's not white. It's not an albino whale.
It might be an albino whale. Who the fuck knows? I'm assuming there's.
What are you guys all drinking tonight?
Water.
Good pussy.
Yeah.
Cheers. This is a big 20% Imperial Stout. It's very aquatic.
It's a white stout is what it is. Yeah.
Zima.
I am drinking this here, the chili triple.
I saw Dev and his brother drink it on tap, and they said there wasn't that much chili at all.
No, there isn't. It might be an ancho chili at the best, and it's basically just hiding the alcohol burn of 9.2. That's all it's really doing. But the coolest thing about this bottle, I don't know if the webcam will pick it up. There's fucking Braille on this bottle.
Yes, that's cool.
So what does it say? Fuck you, you're blind?
I haven't read Braille in years, but I can't figure out what it would say, because I recognize some of these letters, and these letters that are in it aren't anywhere on the bottle.
It's probably the tasting notes.
Might be.
It probably just says Moosehead.
Like
or something on there.
That's an A, and I thought it might be ABV, but these there are numbers at the end of the line with A, but neither of them are 9 or 2. So I don't know. I don't know what it's supposed to say.
I'm drinking the little sample bottle of Weiser's Torched Toffee that you sent me.
I hate you right now.
It's not that great. It's not that great.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Well, I got to be honest. I'm not going to.
No, it's an entry level, flavored whiskey to bring in.
It's great if you want to mix it with something, but straight, it's drinkable.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you should shut your plant down. You can't compete with stuff.
Not cost competitive.
No.
Yeah. I'm drinking Myarsis by Forked River.
You use Casadas?
Yeah, Myarsis.
That's not cool.
It's barrel-aged rye pale ale. Odd though. It's actually pretty good.
I wasn't able to get any of the new one-offs, the Wendigo or anything like that, but I've heard great things about all of them.
Yeah, the Wendigo is really good.
Yeah, I've had that. I thought it was okay. I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, like their other one, the Golden Shard, that was their best one today.
Yeah,
And this is the only other one I've had. So of that one-off stuff.
The Golden Shard was a really well-made beer.
Mhm.
The Oracle was pretty good too. They have made a good deal of good beers.
Yeah.
I think their best thing is now that they've been open for so long, they're experimenting more because they're now seeing that the London market will buy the stuff.
Oh yeah, they're selling out everything. So, I mean, London's had a demand for a while. It's just there's nobody been there. I don't know. It's kind of like Windsor, same thing. There is a demand.
What you had was you could get Railway City, which was fairly simple stuff, or you could get before Fork River. You could go to Baysville up in Erio, and they were making fairly bad extract beer. Like Cooper's kits were better, so you didn't have much of a choice on either side of London. And now you have an actual real brewery in the heart of London making something beautiful. You have Railway City making a solid lineup at least, and you have Erio if you want, ice beers.
Is that what the issue is with Windsor? The fact that basically Detroit's right across the border, and like there's 4 billion breweries within like an hour drive. Is that why there's not a whole lot going on in Windsor?
No, it's a blue-collar town, and the market is. It's just, first of all, it's only 200,000 people. Most of the people are, hardworking, just Coors Light type of people. I mean, there are small pockets, just not enough to support, I think, an adventurous brewery. I think someone would really be sticking their neck out if they did. And, like, for example, Walkerville started to do some stuff, and then they started worried about making money, so they went safe. And now we're dealing with mediocre stuff, unfortunately. Oh, well.
It's all in the eye of the beholder there.
I guess.
It's amazing.
I mean,
If you
it's
drink
not
it ice cold, it's fantastic.
It is
I
ice cold.
I think you do have to. I think in towns like that, in towns like London, in towns like Windsor, Sudbury, that sort of stuff, I think you do have to play the middleman. You have to be safe, yet make a few adventurous beers here and there to keep other people happy as well. Like not make it your whole lineup because, like you said, Windsor, like there are so many places that are more blue collar than anything else, and they're all Coors Light or Canadian drinkers and all that. But there are those small pockets that would rather go and support you if you're making something like some weird triple chocolate imperial IPA or something. Like just weird things is what people would want to buy. So I think you do need to play the middle on those.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the best way to go about it is, you get your core, your 4 beers down or whatever, and as seasonal, and then you start dipping into the whole experimental beers.
Sort of like Cameron's.
Yeah, well, I mean, Resurgence here I've talked about before. They pretty much did that. They have an IPA. They have a session IPA, a regular stout, the sponge candy stout, which is just like a sweeter stout, and a Loganberry Wit. Pretty much their core lineup, but then every month they're doing, interesting stuff, peanut butter porter, this and that and the other, and they're doing extremely well, much better than the majority of the places around here.
Scientifically, what's the difference between the IPA glass and the stout glass, other than the fact that the stout glass is straight?
Possibly to get dumb fucks to buy an extra glass for no reason.
Right. Yep. Hello, Don.
This one doesn't look exactly like a butt plug, but kind of. It's made for stouts. It's a little bit stouty. All that stuff. It's great.
Good day, Don. Good to see you.
How's it going, guys?
Oh, it's going.
What's
One
up,
glass
John?
is one glass is an A-, most excellent.
Well, the funny thing is that I saw Ethan, right? He bought the stout glass, and one of his reviews, he's like, all I do is drink stouts out of this now. And I'm like, it's so much better. All right. I'm going to ask him about that if he shows up. I'm curious.
You know what? I actually, because I'm an asshole, I was drinking things like the Bellbird out of the IPA glass, going, well, the glass makes everything better, right? And, I was drinking like triples and stuff out of the stout glass, going, they have to be kind of stouty. But yeah, you know what? I ended up getting them on Amazon. It was like $20 for a 2-pack of each, so I spent $40, got 4 glasses. I just bought them to buy them, just to add new stuff to the collection. The collection hasn't grown since the GLB can glass and the and the Beer Academy white wheat beer glass that Greg picked up for me. It hasn't grown since then, and then before that, it hasn't grown in months. So I just had to add something. I'm not going to get myself a Z stem.
You should.
Better not.
No, it's called Z. It's called Z stem, by the way.
Yeah, if you're, a trader Canadian.
I'm not a trader. That's what they call it.
No, it's
Fact.
not.
Fact. It's
Lee's
science.
just a little bit jealous. You should probably send him one.
Okay, I will.
No, thank you.
Next beer bell, it'll be all of a sudden, I got a Z stem. Time to drink everything out of it. Coolest glass ever.
They'll seriously go back. I'll send it with the next beer mail back.
Lee is no longer the king of beer tubes. He's the king of ingrates.
No,
I've always been that, though. And malaria.
Yeah, touche, yeah.
Before we go on to any actual topics or any comments, the beer festival in May. Beer festival in May is right now at 23 breweries. I had 2 join. So for those of you that are curious, if any of you have watched this long in, you're curious, again, May 2nd in Ridgeway, Ontario, same place, 209 Ridge Road North. Be a great time. I'm hoping to hit 25 breweries. I'm hoping to at least find one more cidery to come because we only have one in the lineup so far. So I'd like to have at least 2 gluten-free offerings, even if it's a brewery. Because, I mean, I'd take Snowman or something if I had to. I don't like their beer. I think it tastes like cream corn, but I'd bring them in just for people. Anyway, our lineup right now. Inocente, Brimstone, Mill Street, Wellington, Black Oak, Black Swan, which is a new brewery in Strathroy, Innocent Gun, of course, our only non-Ontario one, Silversmith, Killinan, Bose, Refined Fool, Cameron's, Five Paddles, Descendants. Me and Joe actually had some Descendants products. Clifford Brewing, Brothers Brewing, Sawdust City Brewing Company, the Brickworks Cider House, which is the cider company that me and Joe had. I think you liked them the best out of the festival.
Yeah, they were.
I like the hoity-toity the best. Not the
They were
hoity-toity.
they were all good though. I mean, they really were.
Indie Ale House, and apparently Jason's coming to share his love of the Ontario government the whole time. Niagara College Teaching Brewery, Mash Paddle Brewing, which is a brand new brewery in the Douches area, Block 3, and finally Double Trouble.
What are the?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what are the breweries missing that you want us to get in? Any of them?
I don't know. I haven't heard from Oast House yet. Oast House is doing the same thing they did last year. They're telling people I didn't contact them. I've called them like 3 times. I sent them emails. I sent them a Facebook message. Sent them Facebook wall posts. Twittered them. So in the end, they'll probably
Are they too hipster for social media? Even is that what their problem is, or?
I think they just like to play the game of we didn't know.
You should send them a snail mail letter. Maybe they'll accept that. Fucking.
I phoned the brewery and I phoned Kean's personal cell phone, and he hasn't answered either call. So, or any of the emails. So, in the end, they'll be there. They will be because they don't want to look bad to the Niagara region. But I just want to choke them right now.
If they're acting like douches, I'd make them look bad in the Niagara region. I'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah, other than them, I wish I could get Brock Brewing there, but since they still haven't renamed themselves, they're not allowed to brew.
Oh, we get Wheels Brewery. That'd be awesome.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, wait, he doesn't have one either. Oh,
yeah, he got denied his spots.
Good.
I don't know. I sent out a whole bunch of emails. I contacted 58 breweries and cideries combined. I heard back from 30, so there's 28 that just ignored me. And I actually did what the brew box told me to do this time, and I put a little tracking tag in all my emails, so it tells me if it's been opened and how long it was open for. So I know every single one of them has been read, and they just never responded. So some of them can go fuck themselves. I'd like to have Nickelbrook there just because Nickelbrook.
Oh, wait, Nickelbrook hasn't confirmed yet? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that?
I don't know.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, man, they wrote off the popularity of you, and now they're a bit too big time for you.
Yeah. Now that they're a brewery combined with another brewery.
You should just bring in Stone. They're trying to make inroads into Canada. This would be a good inroad for them. Ewart would show up. And
Oh yeah, I'll be right there.
Greg Cook's an awesome individual. If you could get him there, that'd be epic.
Actually, you know what? That would be awesome if he showed his face. I would love that. I would love the opportunity to have a conversation with him.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't talk to you. You're a peon.
No, he would. No, he would. You talk to me.
Like I've seen your reviews before. They're terrible. Now fuck off.
You know, I think he once commented on either something. Where was it? I don't know, something on Facebook or something to some negative comments I was making. And he actually said he welcomes the opportunity to change my mind. He wants to change my mind. And I said, no, I'm just going to ignore you. So that was it. I think it was probably in like a YouTube comments, me just talking junk.
He was trying to be the bigger man, and here you are ignoring him. What the fuck, you were?
Yeah, I said I'm going to ignore him, and then that's what he responded to, and I said, no, I'll continue to ignore you, even though I basically didn't ignore him, but whatever.
Man, all this animosity, you should just snuggle up with him on the couch like Ryan Rashawn did in that video.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get tackled by Sam Calagione. He's my boy.
Sam C's my boy, bro. Fuck off now. That's
no,
bullshit.
no. Keep your hands off him.
No, motherfucker, I'll spoon with him every day of the week.
See, that's the
another
reason
brewery that didn't confirm that I actually kind of wanted to confirm was Flying Monkeys, because I wanted them to bring their Orange Mungus.
Listen, you and your Orange Mungus.
I'll give you some Orange Mungus.
I'm sure they would bring everything but Orange Mungus.
They would. They'd be like, yeah, here's some beers that aren't in bottles yet or even known about yet.
Here's this random dark saison that we brewed with some shitty fucking new brewery no one ever heard of. Oh, you want an Orange Mungus? Sorry, Chad.
What about, did you invite Forked River, Chad?
I did. Like I said, I sent out to 58 breweries. Forked River's read it. They haven't responded. They didn't respond last year either, so I'm not expecting a response from them.
Okay. Well, if next time I pop in, I'll see if they have any intentions. I'll push them a little bit. Only because I'd be excited to have them there. So.
I know they sell through the brew box. So, wow. The brew box company is coming, and they're allowed to serve for 3 breweries. So if they don't come, I might tell the brew box to bring them.
Well, that's cool. That's a neat idea.
Because that's one of the reasons they're coming. They actually told me they'd give me 1.5 vendor fees. They're like, we'll give you 1.5, or we'll try and sell some subscriptions to the brew box, and we'll serve 3 breweries at the same time. I'm like, you guys do whatever you want to do. And they're like, just tell us here's a list of breweries that we serve for that we're allowed to serve. And you tell us which ones didn't respond to you, and we'll make sure they're there.
So usually you're like Nickelbrook.
No. If it's something like that, I'm going to go with smaller breweries that people will be more interested in trying.
I'm kind of thinking about talking to Shane here from Hammer River Brewing here in New Brunswick. He might give us a little keg maybe to bring up. And I'm coming up even if I'm driving in an ambulance. Moving up sick.
No one believes
If you
you.
get a hangnail, you're still going to come?
No, they could wrap me up like a mummy. I'm going in an ambulance. Doesn't matter what it costs. Even they put me in a fucking casket in the plane to fly me up there.
So even if Don dies, we'll bring him to the festival, and we can just prop him up and put a beer in his corpse's hand.
I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy a kegerator because the day after the festival is my birthday, and I already have breweries that are going to stay to party with us, and they're going to leave us whatever's left over in the kegs to drink. So I need a kegerator for that.
He's going to be dead.
It's going to be weekend at Rhinos.
Don, what if the Leafs are deep into the playoffs? You're gonna miss those games. I mean, I know that's not gonna ever happen. What if it did?
It's more closer to Toronto than where I'm at now. So
You actually go to games.
If you have $700 for it.
Yeah. If you have $700 for a ticket. Yeah.
Go to games or go visit them on the golf course, one or the other.
Yeah. Most likely the golf course.
I'm not picky.
How about that 8-0 game last night?
Yeah.
From a team that doesn't score more than usually 4 goals.
Yeah.
Is this more hockey talk? Is it?
I know you're a big family. That's why we were trying to incorporate some hockey talk.
Who's playing the Raptors?
Stuart's not even a true Canadian. He doesn't even know what's
The
happening.
Minnesota Wild destroyed the Maple Leafs last night. I was laughing the whole time I was at work. Every time they scored, everybody around the bar was like, "No!" I'm like, "Yeah!"
It's fucked up, Chad.
Well, we do have some comments here. Some kid named Matt, I want to say Charter, but it's like Shachter or something like that. I think he just is. No, it's not even as cool as Shatner. It's like Shachter or some shit. He said penis, so you are dismissed, sir. You get nothing. Massive Beer Reviews says he needs a personal invite because he's on his iPad or some shit. I don't know what the fuck's that about. Seattle Mark Joint 3 drinking swill beer tonight because funds are low, but I'll listen to y'all talk about good beer. And then there's Brett Cyrax saying, "Oi, dudes."
Fuck you, Brett. You could join us, but you're too good. You're too good, Brett.
You good at what now?
He wants to hang out in the chat in the comments section with Matt Charter there or whatever.
He's talking about his penis.
Yeah, I'd assume since that guy mentioned penis, Brett instantly showed up. Popping out of the woodwork. Someone say penis?
just a warning to anyone watching this video. I am going to insult you if you put comments down in the comment section.
Even nice comments?
Even nice comments. I'm probably going to give you a bit of a rough time.
2015, the year that Lee hates people.
For those that haven't watched us, there is a lot of ribbing in here, be it between panel members or viewers to panel members. Basically, you have to come in here knowing that we're all going to make fun of each other in good fun. Most of the time. Sometimes not in good fun. Most of the time it is.
But I'm not making fun of these people making comments. I'm just generally insulting them.
He is the king of beer tube. He does what he wants. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm the viceroy. I can't say anything unless he's not here.
That's right.
Is that all for comments?
That's it for now.
Well, now that he said that, there's going to be like 7,000 penis vaginas. Fuck her right in the pussies, all that shit.
I'm going to fuck you right in the puss.
Good day, Matthew.
How we doing?
Good day. Hey, Joe, I like your hat, by the way.
Oh, you do like that?
That's sweet.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
Okay.
I like it.
Say cunt ham.
It says Cronins, I believe is the brewery. Runen names.
Coolhands. They also do brake pads.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. You get some sweet brake pads and some awesome beer at the same time.
Did the hat cost $60?
It was more like $58.99 plus tax. But,
Yeah.
Close.
No, Kunin's dumb. They actually charge like only $15. They're dumb. They could have sold it for $60, no problem.
Yeah, the hat was cheaper than the beer, believe it or not.
So they actually sell their merchandise for a reasonable price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is
T-shirts
actually.
are $20.
I mean, you come into some of the Ontario breweries, like when you walk into Oast House, some of their stuff is exorbitant. I mean, their T-shirts are almost $30.
Dust all over it too. Great times.
Yeah.
Silversmith shirts are what, $25, $30 as well.
They're shit, by the way.
Are they?
I don't like them. They're like those big, puffy arms. Like, I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's a big, heavy cotton, cheap shit, and they sell it over too much money. Anyways, I don't want to rant about swag. Fuck that shit.
You just did.
I know.
Pretty much just did.
I know. Damn you. Damn you, your fucking reasoning.
Mhm.
Yeah, so for anyone that actually goes to a beer festival, I had a lot of breweries that have been sharing the posters that he made up for us. And Descendants was one of them. He made up the poster. And then everybody was talking about how it was a cool lineup. That was so many interesting older breweries and brand new breweries. And one guy comes in, he's like, no Railway City, no, what was the other one? I don't even remember who the other guy was. But no, none of this, none of that. Not a real beer festival. And everybody, it wasn't Molson. It was another craft brewery.
Oh.
And he said that, and I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, people that do these festivals don't actually control who comes. They just send invites, and whoever comes, comes. Paul won't ever come to my beer festival because he's mad at me because I told him because I said online and on a Facebook page that $13 for a bottle of Double Dead Elephant was exorbitant when I could buy a can of Immodest for $4 or a bottle of 10 bitter years for $6. Why would I pay $13 for the exact same beer that isn't as good? And he got mad about that, and he won't come to a festival because of that. So there will never be a Railway City at my beer festivals ever again because he can't take criticism about a $13 beer that has beers that are half the price better than it.
Well, I'll say this: Railway City was my least favorite brewery last year at the festival.
Yeah,
really, fuck them.
I think
as I said, they make solid beer, but that's it. They just make solid beer.
I heard they sell poisoned milk to school children.
I can confirm that. I feel like it's you're one person giving your opinion. If he's gonna go based off what you say, then I don't understand.
Well, I found it funny because there was like 12 of us on Jordan St. John's Facebook page talking about it, and I'm the only one he actually sent anything to because I asked everybody else. I'm like, did Paul say anything to any of you? Oh no, he didn't say it. Yeah, of course he didn't. Because you guys all work in the paper and you could go out and make it very public what he said to you.
That's dumb. You gotta have thicker skin when you're growing beer, because there's gonna be a shit ton of people who dislike your stuff. There's gonna be a lot of people who love your stuff, and there's gonna be a lot of people in between. If you let one person dictate either good or bad, what how your company is perceived, then you're a fucking moron.
You don't really make it until people talk shit on you. Is that what they say?
True. I guess that's why Greg Cook has made it, right? Ewart?
Ewart legitimized him.
Yeah, you legitimized Stone. You only, all by yourself. Congratulations.
I just legitimized Railway City. It's awesome.
No one can legitimize Railway City.
Yeah, that's right, because they suck.
Like I said, I don't think they suck. They make a solid brew. It's just nothing's really blown me away in that brewery ever.
And you're just one man. We're two. We're saying they're terrible.
I think there was a study published that said Railway City was linked to thalidomide babies.
I've heard that.
You're all idiots.
Double Dead Elephant. Pretty sure someone said it tastes exactly like elephant shit. Almost positive.
It wasn't a bad beer, though. That's the thing. It wasn't a bad beer, but at $13 a bottle, why? Why?
I don't know. Their Cranberry Festive Ale was also infected, every single can of it. And no one buy that pack. Terrible. Stupid glass as well.
Hey, we're not talking about Spike anymore. We said that.
Bro, it's a glass. I don't care. It's a glass. You're a glass whore.
I haven't gotten a new glass since
3 days.
Z-stems. No, those Z-stems. And even then, it's been a while.
3 weeks ago. I know.
Yes, it's been a while. Actually, am I getting are you guys getting an echo, or is it just me?
It's light one.
Yeah. I think it's all coming from Matthew.
You're getting feedback?
Getting echo, like yeah, kind of like that.
Okay, it's probably me because I don't have my headphones. I have this little thing in my ear. So, okay, I'm going to bounce because I don't have headphones, and I want to screw you guys up.
Not screwing us up.
You just mute yourself until you're ready to talk.
Yeah, well, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Jay's not watching this, from Ontario. Go ahead.
I'm just going to bounce this because I have I'm at work. That's why the only thing I have is the Bluetooth thing. So if I mute it, it mutes the volume too, so I can't even hear what anybody's saying. It mutes everything completely. So enjoy the night, guys.
Cheers.
Take it easy, man.
Here's some clips.
I'm in favor. Jay's probably not going to watch this, but I'll say this anyway. Jay had one of those examination videos, and it's funny because you know how you get the feedback. You pretty much can figure out who's the feedback's coming from, like we just kind of just did. They were in this examination with like 8 people, and one guy, every time someone would talk, his screen would be showing up. None of them figured it out, and they all blamed it on Google+. So Jay, if you go back and look at one of your examination videos, I don't remember which one it was. It was the one you were having crazy feedback. Was it Miller Fortune?
His latest one?
No, it was the one before that. They did the next day. They did a re-examination of it, him and the other guys, because of the feedback. I don't know what. You know what? I'll fucking go look at it right now, just because it's just like I couldn't believe they couldn't figure that out. It's somebody didn't have headphones in, and it was really, really bad too. It was
I think in his examinations he tends to invite like a lot of new people a lot. Like you see a rotating cast all the time, so he probably gets a lot of new people who don't know how to fucking use Google Plus at all. So.
Or how to examine beer.
Yeah, well, that too.
Try that, Brad.
So I don't know how to examine beer.
It was the Land Shark Lager.
Oh my good lord.
And he did a re-examination. So yeah, there was whoever. Yeah, it was a new guy though. You're right. It was a new guy, and he didn't have headphones in, and he had things up too loud. So just for future reference, Jay, when that happens, the feedback, it's usually never Google Plus. It's always someone the vines coming back through their microphone. So
some people say that Google's to blame, but no, it's that new guy's fault.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It was the Land Shark Lager. Let's see, here we go. Guys, my eyes are a little red. Ugh, I don't know what's happening.
And Greg Bylog wants another invite or something.
That's cool. A few things, Greg. You want an invite? Number one, not allowed to talk about Bellwoods, Black Oak, or anything of the sort. No 10 bitter years, none of that stuff. Microphone. So,
some people say that Google.
Holy shit, Brad.
Brad, you gotta close the window that you have open when you're watching.
Oh. That's why Brad's the greatest.
Oh, he is. He's
talking about having new people into the chat. Good day, Brad. Good day, Greg. So everybody's basically here. Here's a question for you all. Favorite new brewery from 2014 and brewery in 2014 you think made the biggest steps, like maybe wasn't as good in 2013, got a lot better in 2014. For me, favorite new brewery that I've had, probably Innocente or Refined Fool, and biggest steps, probably Forked River. I mean, Golden Shard came out in 14. All the stuff from Forked River I really loved came out in 2014.
Chad, this is one of the few times I 100% agree with you, except for the Innocente part. But yes, just because I had just to bust balls. No. I do agree though. Refined Fool was a nice surprise, and Fork River is definitely. It's in terms of the Ontario scene. Wow, big steps. Actually, I just opened a Hansel and Gretel, which is their like a farmhouse or blonde or whatever barrel age. It's actually really good. Barrel aged farmhouse blonde ale. Actually really good.
I would say as well, Refined Fool was probably the best new brewery I tried this year because they kind of came out of the gate swinging, kind of like Bellwoods did, where they don't make lagers and stuff. They just make a whole really good stuff, and they're a little bit better priced than Bellwoods.
A little bit. They even have like 750 bottles is what they're selling them in.
Yeah, I was being nice
it's
about
beautiful.
that. A lot better priced.
Yeah.
The most improved, I think, is Black Oak because they went from kind of being a boring.
For fuck's sakes!
We said no.
Well, you know what? I understand where he's coming from, though. I mean, they went with just like their lineup was 10 bitter years, Nutcracker Porter, and that sort of stuff, and now they have the Epiphany #1. They came out with their barrel aged saisons, their Sunset Before Dawn or whatever the fuck that one was, Guns Before Dawn or whatever, their APAs. They came out with that breakfast stout, which is just another coffee stout.
Was that the name of it? Just another coffee stout?
I think it's better than Founders Stout. Just throwing it out there.
This is why we can't have nice things.
Sorry, what did you say was better than, Greg, as a comparison?
I think it's better than Founders Breakfast Stout, personally. At least in the bottles.
I mean, I don't know. Founders Breakfast Stout is very good, but there's a lot of things that are a lot better than that. So
yeah, I love it on tap, but bottles, I'm not crazy about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can answer that question. I'm trying to think of when Bad Apple opened here in Nova Scotia. I'm trying to think if it was last year or the year before. Can't remember. I'll just say Bad Apple anyway. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And most improved, maybe Boxing Rock. Although, like, they've been making all these awesome beers that I can't get. But everyone.
The Vickers Cross was actually really good. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, thank you, Lee. That was good.
But like they've released all these beers that you just can't get anywhere unless you're a beer dude or some shit. So, but from what I hear, they're all fucking super awesome. So they're probably the most improved brewery in Nova Scotia, anyway. So.
A little bit of hate in that comment. Like, no, from what I hear, they're all fucking awesome. So, like, you want the beers you can't get. I understand.
Well, it'd be nicer if they had better distribution. I'll just put it that way. It only took half a year for fucking Vickers Cross to get back in the fucking stores, so I could send some out. So, we'll get that.
That pumpkin grinner ale. Now, we all got cans from the same batch, correct? I mean, they were all October 23rd. That beer was what I would hope a sour pumpkin beer would be, honestly. I know it's not meant to be, but holy shit, man. That was pretty good. You got like this strong lemon tartness along with pumpkin spices.
It was crazy. I didn't think like I got totally confused when Chad said it was infected. I'm like, that was infected because it actually came off nice. I didn't know if that was the intent, but yeah. Hey, whatever.
You're my boy and everything, but what the fuck? You did. It's a wet hot pumpkin ale and it's super sour. You didn't think anything was wrong?
Well, I didn't get sour. I got tart. I got lemony. Like I thought, I didn't know what hops they were using. So I didn't get. I didn't get apple. Sour apple, like that sort of infection or anything. But
yeah.
No, it wasn't.
It was tart.
Infection. You say infection, and people think that the beer is bad, and it's not necessarily bad. It's just something has gone wrong with it. It was still a good beer. It was still an enjoyable beer. It just was infected.
Well, the extra can I had just before I sent it out, it was perfectly fine. So it's like, okay, I'll send it out. I'll risk sending it out because it seems like it's still good. So.
It was cool though. I still got all the spices like after that lemon tartness, and it was kind of weird, but at the same time very unique because I don't think I've ever had anything like that really.
Oh, I believe I haven't posted the video yet, but I believe I was saying that. I'm like, this tells me that a sour pumpkin ale would work. This is awesome.
Yeah, well, it sounds like a cool idea, doesn't it? Like,
actually,
really...
I've had an intentionally soured pumpkin beer.
Oh, I had pumpkin tart, right?
Well, no, actually, it's from Kunin 2 festivals ago, and it was the best beer I had at the festival that year. One of the better beers I had in 2013. Unfortunately, they haven't recreated it, but it was incredible.
That Brewery Vivant also had the pumpkin tart too, which I like that a lot. But this, I don't know. It's weird because while it worked, I don't know if you're gonna make a sour pumpkin ale if lemon is the flavor that you really want mixing, but then again, I don't know. Based on what I drank, maybe. Pretty good.
So Joe, best new brewery of the year, best improved for you of the year.
Best, the only one that I can say of the new breweries. Resurgence is the only. I mean, Resurgence and Big Dish opened here. Hamburg, I think, is just over here, but Resurgence, they did it right. Came out right out of the gate and had a nice core lineup, and they always have like 10 to 12 beers on tap, and they're not afraid to tweak stuff, which a lot of breweries seem to be, afraid to tweak stuff, and if they seem like certain batches off, they'll go and try to tweak it, and it's nice. So Resurgence is doing a good job around here. Most improved brewery? You have to give me a little bit on that. I don't know. I really don't. Probably, I don't know. I really don't.
We'll jump to Brad. I know his most improved brewery was going to be Big Rock.
Well, they got nowhere to go but up, don't they?
That's anything to improve, I don't think. Well, I can't honestly say that. It's such a city that's so unexciting for breweries here, because that's all we have really is Big Rock. And, well, Tool Shed's newer. They've been here for at least a year now with the same 3 beers. They're all pretty good, but I don't know. We don't get the 10 different beers on taps at places like that. It would be unheard of, really. And Big Rock, they just came out with some barrel-aged stuff, and it was like $20 for 3 little bottles. Like, just can't wrap my mind around paying for that, because I kind of know what it's going to taste like up front. But
probably like a Labatt's bourbon barrel ale. That's probably what it's going to taste like.
The house yeast up front. no matter what style of beer you're making. Oh well. That's why Calgary tries to get different beers from the States, I think. There's no good breweries here. We got to just order it from somewhere else.
Got a few more comments here. Guy says he's at work. He said, "You guys already have poster haters. You've made the big time, apparently." Greg's said in the chat for some reason that they sell posters for $30 each.
I wasn't on here yet.
Oh, okay. I'll let it pass this time. Al Ohm says, "Cheers." Marty Man 5000 says, "Lee, trying to save money on electricity. You stop being a douchebag yet, Marty?" And genetically modified orgasms says, "Not actually drinking beer tonight, but I am sipping on some Lagavulin 16-year-old. You son of a."
should go jump him.
We should.
That guy is writing on your praise troll account. Fuck that guy.
Is he? Oh, okay. I'm checking all of his comments. In your opinion, what were the biggest trends last year in the craft beer scene? Of course, that all depends on where you live.
Yeah, here probably session IPAs and again more fucking saisons and breweries that don't know how to do it, souring or breading everything.
Yeah, sours became a big thing in the last year.
Yeah, there are breweries that can do it really well. There are breweries that can't. There are breweries that do it really well on accident.
I'd say the demand for sours is definitely up there. I don't know if necessarily if it's a trend yet. It's just the trend for the demand trend is there because I don't know. There's a lot of hipsters out there, but I don't know. They're going to drive everything. But I think craft beer. I can't find one real trend that stands above. There's just so many things. Everybody's trying to be really diverse. I'd say that's the trend. Everybody's trying to fill every void. If you haven't done this style, someone's doing it because no one else is doing it. That's the thing. Everybody's trying to do that one different thing that no one's doing, and they're really digging deep. It's kind of cool, but then you get a lot of failures with that too. So.
Yeah, red kidney bean saison. Yeah.
That's the thing. Trying to be unique and different doesn't necessarily equate to being good. And
no, exactly.
If you can brew good beer, you can brew good beer. If you brew shit beer, you brew shit beer. It doesn't matter.
Going on to like the 80s and 90s when kids were emo and goth to be different, but they're all the same.
Yeah.
well, that's the whole hipster movement. There's a uniform. You wear, flannel plaid, and you have a finely crafted beard. The big glasses, whether you have a prescription for glasses or not, and it's different.
Glasses is the worst. Oh my
god. Yeah, I think maybe pumpkin beers have finally reached their apex. You might maybe see less of them in the coming years. It seems like they were just
this year. Everybody and their grandmother made one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're starting to see sours even here in the Maritimes now, for fuck's sake. So, intentional ones, not unintentional ones.
I was just gonna say, even unintentional ones.
You didn't have any King of the Forest there.
Mm-mm.
Oh, hey, take it easy. For every King of the Forest, there's a dozen Innocentes. All right. Oh. What?
I
know, it's terrible. Where's my sound effects?
I just don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
What other comments do we have going? Anything?
No. And I'm not refreshing for at least another 5 minutes. Fuck these people.
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. I guess for me, improving, although I like them and they're kind of like my Innocente and Ewert's, I don't know, Brew Vivant. Jack's Abbey. I'll go with them. They've started to release a lot of different. I mean, they do only lagers, so they can kind of spread their wings and do things that other people haven't tried just because they're kind of limited. So they've done a lot of really cool things in the past year. Unfortunately, a lot of the cool things that they also do not get bottled, and since the brewery's like 7 hours away, you don't get to try them.
Yeah.
But occasionally, like when they do tap takeovers and stuff around here, which they did one, it's pretty awesome to have, 20 beers from a brewery that's not in your state. Pretty awesome.
20 loggers from a brewery that's not in your state?
20 good lagers. Well, not all good, not all of them were good, but like 6 to 8 of them were pretty fucking spectacular. It's interesting to see. I mean, they do their Baltic Porter, Framingham, and then they aged it in bourbon barrels, and they aged in bourbon barrels with a bunch of different varieties, and I mean, they stand up to some of the. I'm not gonna say they're good as Bourbon County or Bring Out Your Dad or things of that nature, but they're close, and it's a lager, technically. So, I think that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Oh, remember how I read that news article from Mill Street about how Mill Street was pulling the 2014 barley wine off the shelves at the LCBOs because it wasn't up to par for them. So I was in an LCBO yesterday, and there's like 30 2014 barley wines on the shelf. So I took a picture of it, and I'm going to be sending it to Mill Street saying, hey, I thought you pulled all these.
Oh, trolling them.
Yeah, don't troll them. That's not cool.
Yeah.
All the LCBOs in the Toronto area still have all their Mill Street out. They haven't pulled it at all.
So that's just a PR thing. We're going to say we're going to do something, but not actually do it.
Hey, they got me to go out and get a bottle because I was like, crap, I need it for my collection. And it was, to my opinion, a terrible barley wine. But I've got a nice bottle on my shelf now.
To be fair, you don't like barley wines, though, right? You're not a big fan?
I like some, I don't like others, but generally it's not one of my preferred styles.
Oh, I love me some barley wine.
Yeah, me too, especially English.
Yep. A beer to Zeus. I was going to open it tonight. I'll save it for tomorrow, I think.
Oh, that was such a good beer, even fresh. Oh my god.
Yeah, I opened mine yesterday. I wasn't crazy about it, but again, it was just too sweet for me. Like, I was drinking, I don't know, some sort of sugar water or something.
Yeah, I believe, Greg, it's called an inferior palate. I think that's what it's called.
I think so.
No, it's a stupid palate.
Well, yeah,
No.
and inferior.
I think stupid is being generous. It just means it's... Inferior is even very generous.
But it's okay. I mixed it with Coors Light and it tasted great.
Yes.
Fair. I'm sure it was, like 1 degree Celsius, right? When you're drinking it?
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
Stylistically correct.
Can't be wrong or whatever.
Actually, you know what? I'm glad Brad is here because speaking of Coors Light, I checked in a beer yesterday on Untapped and Brad called me out on it. I had a little side by side of Westy 12, App 12 from St. Bernardus, and Rochefort 10 with DUs over yesterday, and we both agreed Westy. I don't know what was going on, but I said I smelt it. I had a taste, and I told Derek. I said, I'm just gonna say one word to you before you sip on it. I said Coors Light, and he had it just a weird sort of shitty adjunct lagery sort of aroma and just bit to that was, I don't know, it's fucking weird. I don't know if it was just they can make mistakes, I'm guessing. I don't know. There was something very strange about it.
Did they use corn in Westy 12?
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, it almost had a corny taste to it.
Use a ton of sugar, that's for sure.
Because a lot of Belgian beers use corn, so.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know if we got the certain part of the fermenter that just, I don't know, ours is a little thicker on that. I don't know, man. It was strange. It was not pleasant. I mean, it was pleasant, but it wasn't nearly as pleasant as Rochefort 10 or even I've had Westy before. I'm like, it was off. I don't know.
Maybe your palate is just really stupid. I mean, it's seriously a possibility.
Well, now you can look at all those macro snobs and go, there you go. Here's a cutting edge.
I see where Jay's coming from. Me and Jay we are akin now. I understand him.
Here's a cutting edge, awesome craft beer that even you macro snobs can appreciate after hard work in the machine shop and shit all day. Fucking come home and have a man's beer that you can only appreciate if you work hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Love is just aged Coors Light.
Turn into a Westy.
To be fair, you didn't drink anything before for that showdown, right? That was the first thing.
That was the first. Well, the first thing I had was the St. Bernardus, and then I had that.
Did you cleanse your palate with water or crackers?
No.
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's what ruined it.
Yeah, the St. Bernardus ruined it.
Totally invalid. Yep. Nope. Yep. Mm-hmm. You should probably delete those check-ins. They're all lies.
No, you're right. I don't get I don't get breweries toasting my stuff, so I don't.
But fucking your check-in is what happened, a distant second place to Rochefort 10. Then Matt's like, yeah, Westie pre-2005 prior to the production ramp up, we're a totally different breed, infinitely better. And then Brad's response is, I call bullshit. Well, you know.
That was on the comment, not Ewart's tasting notes or whatever.
You were replying to Matt?
It tasted a lot better when it was impossible to get. And
of course.
Distribute it, it's not as good now that you can get it.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Because I'm sure a brewery with that much history changes their recipe to save buck, even though they use tons of candied sugar in that anyway. So, I don't know.
Oh, what would you poor deluded fools do if your Untapped account's got wiped right now?
Not gonna lie, I would probably cry for a significant amount of time in the corner.
No, I download mine to the cloud. I'm good.
Oh, it's gonna.
I'd be fine with it.
It's on the cloud with all of his dick pics. It's gonna get hacked.
Hey man, all I can say is enjoy this show. I have nothing to hide.
And the funny thing is, they're not yours either.
That's what he spends the night at.
What's that?
That's what he does when he's spending the night at your house. He's taking dick pics.
At whose house?
At your house and Lee's house and everybody's house. You know what happened? He waited till we all passed out on the night of the beer festival and he took dick pics of all of us. And now he's gonna post them up and say, guess which beer tuber's penis this is.
Oh yeah.
Fuck, I'm glad I had the plague there. I guess.
Chad's will be the easiest one.
Well, he must have filled up that memory card after 2 pics.
Okay, so under
well, you know, everybody always asks if my pubes are albino too, so maybe they're not. Maybe you won't be able to find mine.
So, yeah.
On that note,
there's 2 comments here from Guy. He said,
"Oh, that got his attention."
He said he should have had Beer to Zeus fresh. Or no, he said he had Beer to Zeus fresh, and he shouldn't have done that. He never read the instructions. He said, do a power stack. Yeah, hey.
Who makes Bearded Zeus?
Great Lakes, isn't it?
Actually, yeah, Great Lakes, but doesn't Shorts do a Bearded Zeus as well?
Yeah, they do.
I
don't think it's not a barrel-aged barley wine or anything.
No, it's like a paddle.
Whoa.
What is happening right now?
Tornado just went through somewhere.
It's a power stack, guys.
I will say the Wiseman's Committee videos are the one videos I look forward to the most every time they show up on my feed.
Yeah, they're getting really good again. Like, super awesome.
I need to hear Lee do the rules impersonation. That's what
my god!
I'll have to work on that.
Oh,
yeah.
I actually thought I was doing a video impersonating him. Hey everybody, the rules here. Coming to you with another awesome video.
Todd, you shouldn't talk like that about yourself. You're a good guy, Todd. You'll get the pussy, Todd. You don't like the pussy, Todd? You got to talk to the bitches, and they'll come to you.
Look at that guy. What's the matter?
Now we're going to drink for Tiny Tim Rothschitter. Shout out to you. Wiseman Committee can suck dick.
Ramstats, fuck off.
He did like a 15-minute video just telling Ramstats how he's a fucking piece of shit.
I love it too. It's like, I'm not going to drink on video. People say it doesn't look good or whatever. Next thing I was like, he's doing the 42-ounce pounders or whatever.
Why'd you drink that shit, Todd? That's terrible.
What is happening?
I do watch the rules videos every day. And Aaron thinks I'm fucked up for doing so. I just think he's hilarious.
There's different ways to get your entertainment off the YouTubes, as Don would say, and the rules videos are one of them. Todd's are more depressing, and you kind of wonder why.
I can't watch Todd. It's sad.
Yeah, his are depressing. His are really depressing. They're only good from the Wiseman
the guy eats like he's homeless and hasn't been fed for like 3-4 days. I've never seen a guy just not care as much as he does. It's just.
I think he has legit like manic depressive disorder or something because he's you know.
Well, social anxiety, probably, definitely manic depressive, or it just he must have a 7-Eleven in walking distance that he just lives out of, right?
Probably.
Which is like, you know,
This is my fetish beer. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Anything? What is it? Anything from Miller? Is his fetish beer?
No, just any beer he drinks is apparently his fetish beer, and he's using the word fetish totally incorrectly.
Yeah.
But, no, it's your go-to beer, you idiot.
I just want a hot chick to fart in my face. It's like,
no, I just want these hot chicks from Massachusetts to tell me I'm crap and make fun of me. Yeah,
stick their tongue out at me and.
Yeah, say I'm a jerk off. Stick your tongue out at me. I like it.
He pays women online to fucking. He Skypes with them and they degrade him and he fucking loves it. I'm just like, what is happening?
I kind of wish they'd do beer sampling with Dave videos. They had him appear in one clip in one video, and it's like, oh, you dick teases, you fuckers.
I know.
I
like how speaking of which, I liked your 40-minute duo review with your brother there, and there was some randomness, including the picture of him just thrown in there, like 30 minutes in.
I couldn't resist.
Random, yeah.
Well, my brother brought him up, so it's his fault.
I didn't actually see that part.
It was like 28, 29 minutes in. All of a sudden, they're just talking about it randomly. Here comes the Crypt Keeper out of nowhere. I'm like, what the fuck?
My brother was arguing I should be kicked off Beer Dweebs, and he's like, and I was like, oh, okay, well, you fucking do it then, Scott. It's like, yeah, I'll get on there, and I'll talk with beer sampling with Dave, and we'll start it up and get it going.
Even if you weren't here, I don't think he's ever going to come back because we talked to you.
I don't know. I don't even know if Dave's that clued in to even figure all that stuff out.
I don't think so.
No, you have to go to his face and basically tell him what you think, or go on his thing and comment on his video before he understands and connects the dots. You know, he's just.
He's free to join, right? I mean, he can join at any time.
Yeah.
Any point. I mean, there's side, whatever.
Well, I'm gonna start a new channel called the Lee Hoogley or Lee Russell Hoogley Beer Reviews Hate Hour, and I'll just invite him on, and we'll just rant about Lee, and then we'll invite Lee and be sabotage.
That's cool. I get on board with that.
Yeah, it's like the peasants hating the king. We're having we're gonna stand up for once.
I'm the viceroy, and I hate the king.
Yeah. Well, we all hate the king, just in behind closed doors, you know. Can't talk about it openly.
It's all right.
Or we be stricken.
Yeah. I'll still throw you some table scraps once in a while. That's all right.
Listen, Lee is the king that has been stripped of all of his powers.
Yeah, because I had so much power before.
You know he was stripped of his powers when we made Guy the Judicer.
You were friends with Chad. You had a lot of power.
Hey, I'm going to review his book here soon whenever it shows up.
I cannot wait for that.
I got it used. I was gonna pay the actual price for it because it would have been over like $30 of shipping and shit. It was like,
is that the Stout and Porter book?
Yeah, Stout and Porter book.
By the way, if page 12 and 13 are stuck together, it wasn't me.
Was that the big rock page?
Yeah, that was a big rock stout page.
It's probably.
I didn't think it said rock. I thought it said something else. I got confused.
I'll improve your face, Greg Cook.
Oh, you want some free porters? Here's a Labatt porter. Here's a whatever.
Yeah, I doubt that's even in the book. I don't think he'd even take it. When I was proposing to do other beer trades with him, he's like, "Oh no, I'm not interested in any other Canadian beers. I don't want any." Okay.
Usually when I trade with you, that's the exact same thing I say.
Yeah, but you have a more likable personality than he does.
No, I don't. No, that's pretty fucked up that he would say that. That's messed
Wait,
up.
which by that I just mean you actually have a personality.
Oh man, what beer did he? What did you guys originally? I remember he sent you like that. Originally, that was the first time he had like what 1050. But what did you send him?
Red.
No, I don't think I sent him a Rickards Red.
Rickards.
I know
Red.
we reviewed. I know we reviewed some Rickards. I thought you might have sent it. That's all.
No, I think I just sent him Propeller and Garrison. That was all I could get back then. I think so. That's what I sent him. I think. I can't remember. Don't care either.
You know what? You close your mind to things. I mean, people are like, "Oh, I don't want to try this beer because it's from this country and everything sucks." If it was that way, how many American beers would we drink? I mean, most of the American beers we get are Bud, Miller, like Michelob Ultra.
And it goes the other way. Same thing here in the States.
I know.
You can get Molson and Labatt. It's like
exactly.
you don't know until you do some digging and some research and figure it out on your own.
I mean, Mexico, we get Sol, we get Tecate, we get all that shit. Apparently Mexico has a booming craft beer industry that's actually really decent.
DJ sending me like 3 Imperial Stouts from Mexican craft breweries the next time he sends out a beer mail, later this year. And I am really looking forward to seeing what they're all about because you're right. I've heard good things, and we don't see them here, which is surprising. You think you'd see at least 1 or 2 Mexican craft breweries in the States, distributing. I don't see anything.
I mean, Cuba has an okay beer industry, but it's mostly all adjunct stuff. But it's still okay. It's passable stuff. My second beer that I had from India was the Velbert. It actually wasn't horrible for a high gravity lager. I mean, it was probably one of the better high gravity lagers. Not saying much because it's still a high gravity lager.
Lee just looked like he threw up in his mouth when you said that.
That's fine.
That would have tasted better, probably.
Compared to, say, Kingfisher, which is the only other Indian beer I've had, I like it quite a bit more.
So Kingfisher's a Indian beer?
Yes.
Yeah, we just got that here, and same as Bellbird.
Okay, you had the Bellbird yet, Don?
I had it, and I did a review, and I totally forgot to give it a rating. I was in there, I was talking, and it was like, yeah, I got to put a review on it, so.
No, lucky you.
Wow, yeah, that's not.
It's one of those beers. I think I gave it a 2.5 on Untapped. I think I gave it a 5 overall, or a 4.75 on the video. Like, you know what? For what it is, it's not a bad beer. Because it is a high gravity ale. What a high gravity lager? What else is there? There's Earthquake. There's Mongoose. Shit like that. Like, yeah, compared to that stuff, it's actually pretty good. But it's still not good. But it's good for what it is.
Yeah, I think I pushed around at 2 or something on it. But it wasn't fantastic. Haven't tried the Kingfisher yet.
The Kingfisher, if you get it fresh, apparently it's a lot like Heineken. You get it fresh, it's okay. You get it at all aged, and it's just a skunk sprayed in your mouth.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we had it years ago here in New Brunswick, like 10 years ago or something. We might have had it here then, but. It's one of those things you just don't remember. It's one of those ones you kind of...
Actually, that was one of the beers that we reviewed, and after that review is when one of our cast members could never come on camera again. Because one of the car companies he works for is owned by the guy that owns Kingfisher. When we made fun of Kingfisher, he got in trouble.
Fucking lame.
Small world.
Yeah. Got some more comments here. Jason Spears says, "Hey guys, Happy New Year! Happy New Year to you."
Happy New Year to you, Jason.
Says he's having a couple Vickers crosses tonight, and he's trying to relax after a shit-tastic weekend so far. Well, sorry to hear that. Guy says, "No, I said Beer de Zeus is better fresh than aged." Oh well.
What?
I'm going with your original comment, Guy. So you're contradicting yourself. I
enjoy a lot fresh.
And Ethan's beer review says, "Hey guys, Happy New Year to y'all. Can't join right now because I got some stuff going on, so he's masturbating. I have a question."
I like how you show us. I like how you show us. He's masturbating. Right.
Well,
just turn the camera off.
movement going more and more, do you think craft brewery tap rooms will go extinct? And question 2, more like a prediction. With the IPA craze going on in the beer world, I believe sour beers will be the next new trend. Thoughts on that?
Okay, so we've already basically agreed with them on the second one that sour beers are becoming a trend and probably will be one of the next trends. And good or bad, it's good because I like sour beers most of the time. I mean, if the brewery does it well, bad because they're going to hurt your pocketbook. They really are. To the first, no, I think with the craft beer movement growing, craft brewery tap rooms are just going to keep getting bigger because people want to go to the brewery and support the brewery. And then you get all these breweries that are doing brewery-only releases or tap-only releases. It's just going to keep growing, I think.
And a lot of places.
At least in Ontario, because they make
stuff.
such a better. Yeah. In Ontario, they make such a better market margin if they sell it at the brewery, not at anywhere else. So at least here, it's gonna keep growing. I don't know about elsewhere in the world.
If you can go straight to the brewery and get some good beers, get some good food, and relax, enjoy yourself, you don't really have to go anywhere else. It's best of both worlds.
Yeah, if it's a positive experience for the customer too, you've just gotten new fans and customers, right? I mean, someone who walks in, a tourist or something, comes to the city or a tourist hotspot, they go into a brewery that actually has taps and, might sell some food and stuff. It's like win-win.
Yeah. And I would say, as far as the second point goes, we already talked about it, as Chad said, and it all depends on where you live as well. I mean, different states, different provinces, different countries are going to have, like I'd say Canada's a little bit behind on the sours, but they're catching up. It's, like a lot of the Ontario.
They have a bunch of collaborative lambics, as they're calling them, which you're not allowed to call it a lambic, but it's like Oakhell, Silversmith, Sawdust City, a bunch of other breweries getting together, and every year they've been brewing a different lambic, as they're calling them, and just putting them in wooden barrels, and they're just leaving them there. And after they sit there for like 4 years, and then they bottle them. So every year you're going to get a different one. And by 4 years in, they're going to have 3 others aging, and they'll have one that they're bottling and one that they just brewed, and they're just doing that right now. So I think we're on year 3 now. So next year we should actually start seeing them bottled.
Well, what I was going to say is, like in the States, I think Ethan said IPA craze. I think the IPA craze pretty much has come and went. I don't think it's a craze anymore. It is now a staple. It was a craze maybe a couple of years ago, and now it's just every brewery has an IPA. That's just kind of how it is, and it's all with them.
Every brewery has an IPA, an APA, an EPA.
Yep, and they're all new American hops, so big fruity flavors and so on and so forth. Hops that kind of hide faults with the rest of the beer and whatnot.
In all honesty, I'm actually disliking that. I mean, I love those hops. I love Galaxy, and I love a lot of the New Zealand hops, and I love a lot of the new American hops. But I'm starting to find a lot of these IPAs are now all tasting the exact same, and it's just you're buying a different logo on the bottle, buying a different brand name. It's actually almost, and I'm not saying it because it is, but it actually is kind of going into the loyalist competition of macro brews, because a lot of these taste the same. I mean, Innocente came out with their Conscience. The Conscience tastes a lot like Block 3's 100 brew. It tastes a lot like they because they all use the exact same hops. They're all starting to taste quite a lot alike.
Well, I think I saw this pretty much the exact same discussion. I forgot exactly where, maybe like a week or two ago, and that was the question posed was, the abundance of new, flavorful, fruity hops kind of just ruining IPAs from the stance that like almost any brewery can just get in there and brew an IPA, use these hops, and have a good beer. Is that kind of taken away from it? I would still say you can still tell the difference between a very well-made beer and just an okay beer, but I think it's making it easier for everyone else to enjoy them, though. I mean, I think that's a positive in some respects.
No, I agree. A horribly crafted beer is still a horribly crafted beer, and even with those hops, you're still going to taste it. But when you have 4 breweries that actually brew good beer, all using the exact same malt bill, basically, maybe slight variations, and exact same hop bill, you have pretty much the same beer, and you're just buying off of loyalty at that point.
I think that might be the next craze, to be honest with you. I think the use of specialty malts and trying to get the different esters from the malts and the different flavors from specific malts, and trying to maybe tone down the hop character in a lot of beers, because there are a lot of specialty malts coming out that are producing a lot of different flavors, a lot of different characters. They're very unique. Some of my favorite malts, and it's been around for a while, but honey malt. I've had IPAs with honey malt that just has this distinct character that I don't get on the other beers, and I would like to see honey malt used a lot.
I think my saddest complaint about a lot of the pale ales out there right now is there's about 120 varieties of hops you can now use, but there's about 6 to 10 hops that are basically what's used in every pale ale now.
Yeah. It was Citra. Like Citra was a big thing about 2 years ago or so.
Citra, Galaxy.
Now Mosaic.
Mosaic, yeah, Mosaic's big. You still have a couple.
It's big when Guinness, the American Blonde Lager, uses Mosaic in it. I mean, when a company like Guinness is using that hop, it's officially big.
Actually, I just had this today. I just reviewed it today. I did one glass and I used the other glass for the Beer Dweebs United. This is the Vintage Ale by Collingwood. They have a hop in there that's very berry-like, very Belma-esque. What I thought when I was drinking it is Burtwell. Now, at first, Nickelbrook had all the Burtwell in Ontario. For the last 3 years, Nickelbrook has bought every Burtwell hop in Ontario. The farm has kept getting bigger and bigger, and now other breweries are getting it, and it's becoming a big Ontario hop now. I mean, Trafalgar's even using Burtwell now. It's just you see trends in everything. You see trends in hops. You see trends in styles. You see trends in bottle sizes, even trends in pricing. I mean, there are breweries that price things lower. There are breweries that price things higher, but you can see the trend on each different even style. That you can see a trend in pricing.
Yeah.
For some reason, saisons keep going up in price.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they shouldn't. To finish the Ethan comment, though, I'd say that the trend right now is pretty much what you said. It's all about unique, being unique, diverse. The simple fact of the matter is that it can be using 6 to 8 different barrels, whether it's rum barrels, cognac barrels, wine barrels, blah blah blah, throwing all different kinds of shit in it. Barrel aged pale ales people are trying. Everyone's throwing saisons into wine barrels, and it's just. People are there. There was a couple peanut butter porters / stouts maybe 2 years ago. Now it seems like every fucking city has a brewery that does one. It's all about what kind of crazy concept can you come up
what would
with,
be
and
awesome?
will it work?
Yeast is such an interesting animal, such an interesting organism, that it would be such an interesting monster even, that it would be an interesting thing to have. I mean, Innocente did this slightly, but it would be interesting to see a brewery come up and go, okay, this yeast can ferment anywhere from 18 to 28 degrees. Let's do 10 batches of it, 1 batch at each degree, to show you the difference, because each degree of fermentation will give so many different flavors too. So, I mean, just to show that the yeast can be a big flavor adder to a beer as well.
Sure.
Again, Innocente sort of did it with their conference. Their conference, they kept playing. They did 5 different batches at different temperatures to find which one they wanted. The main recipe stayed the same. It was just which temperature they were fermenting at. And there were huge differences in those 5 different temperatures. And, I mean, it's just one of those things that could be really cool to see, because people don't think of that. People just think yeast is yeast and it's just going to do its thing.
Well, if anybody who's watched, here's a shout out to Joe's buddy Sam Calgione. If you ever watched Brewmasters, his little episode, his stuff, he has like a whole lab where they have like a yeast specialist, and the guys who've been in the business and doing this a while, they have people who do that, and they don't really. But you're right, Chad. People don't broadcast. It's like, hey, we're gonna experiment with these sorts of things, and we'll do like this sort of base recipe with different yeast strains, and we're gonna have these variants and call them H or HY2, HY5, whatever, host yeast, this, that, and the other, and then release those. All the variants are always the other major ingredients that people can understand and recognize. I think that'd be actually kind of cool. I think maybe that'd be the way of the future, where the people are doing that sort of real scientific type of experimentation instead of doing the Betty Crocker experimentation,
Yeah.
I mean, it comes down to, there malts, there's hops, there's yeast, and there's water. There's shit tons of adjuncts. A lot of people are always like, I'm just waiting for everything to die down, because at some point they're going to run out of stuff to do. It's like, not really. They can sit there for years and years and years and just run through specialty malts, run through different kinds of hops, do what you guys are talking about with the yeast, throw in different adjuncts, throw in different barrels, just do crazy shit. It's never ending.
Niagara College did that with the water. They did a beer, and they did the beer normal. They did it with hard water. They did it with soft water. They did it with water with
I tried it with you.
Sulfur or whatever. Add the same thing that they add to it to mimic the Burton on the Trent water. I don't want to say the wrong one because one gives you diarrhea and one doesn't. It's sulfur bicarbonate. Sulfur bicarbonate or sulfur carbonate. One of them gives you diarrhea and one doesn't. I just don't know which one is which. I don't remember my chemistry all that well.
We drank those beers. It started with a C, something now.
Yeah.
And
the Cato, the Cato.
Yeah, wasn't there like a 4 in it? I don't know. It was really messed up, but it was really bad. I remember it being barely drinkable. I did not get the diarrhea from it, but it was interesting to see. But there's so much shit you can do. I'm just waiting for the people who don't really care about beer to stop caring about beer.
Right now in New Brunswick, here in St. John, they're letting at Moosehead. They got a brewmaster from Europe or somewhere. They're letting him run with it a little bit. They're letting him barrel like cask ale, stuff like that. They're letting him do 1 and 2 here and there. The IPAs are letting him do.
Because Moosehead is a family-owned business, it's not a big conglomerate, and the fact that they already have pretty much cross-Canada distribution, they could overnight just come out and be like, hey, we're the best craft brewery in the world. Well, in the country. They could just do it overnight because they have the size, they have the knowledge, they have the expertise, they have the labs, they have the money behind them and the buying at bulk behind them. They could overnight just be like, hey, this is what we can do.
And they just lost their Guinness contract and the Harp contract. They just lost a bunch of contracts here.
Well, that's just it. They have all this new space. They could overnight just become a sensation if they want.
And which I've been talking to, from here, I know a lot of guys that work there, and I kind of think Moosehead's thinking about doing that, but they don't want to lose like Alpine and that other shit. But
they just need to bring back Moose Ginger. Is what they need to do.
Moose Ginger.
I mean, I don't think they gave it enough of a chance.
The one thing Moosehead has to do is become completely and utterly open, though, with what they do with
Hop City.
Hop City. They actually deleted all my comments recently. They stayed there for a few weeks before they decided to get rid of them, but they deleted all my comments. When I was commenting to people that were asking them questions and responding to the answers they gave, like the answers that Moosehead gave. And, I mean, they're still sort of trying to hide it, and you know what? Don't hide it. Your beer is good. I'm one of the guys that does not care if the beer is from a big guy if it's good. Yeah. I mean, take, for instance, the Beer Academy. I'm actually sad to see them go. Greg was nice enough to pick me up some of the bottles. Those bottles were great price, too. They were $6.25 for $6.25. Great prices. Actually, because they were owned by Molson, I really wish they had done this because I drank the Imperial Stout, and it was the weakest of the 4 he brought me. And I'm drinking the Imperial Stout, and I'm like, this really needs to be barrel-aged. It has all the flavor sets that a barrel could work well with. And because this is owned by Molson, because Molson has all the money backing behind them, they could have actually went out and did this. They could have brewed up a huge batch of it and put it in like 6 or 7 different barrels, a gin barrel, a tequila barrel, a rum barrel, and did this Imperial Stout in all the different barrels and put it out for people to see. And you know what? Yeah, they're on Victoria Street, which is off of Yonge Street, but you might have actually had some beer geeks come off of Yonge Street and actually walk in there to try this, to see the difference in barrels. You actually probably would have gotten a better clientele from the beer geek industry and from just people curious industry coming down the street to try it.
Yeah, but Moosehead used to have a tap house in there. Unfortunately, it was just nothing good. Just the free-flowing Alpine Moosehead. And it wasn't the other beer they had, like their Ambers, which was really good. Like, this is like years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of East Coast, years ago, they still make 10 penny out there?
I don't think they do. I think it's.
Oh.
I think it might still be sold, but I don't think they make it out here.
They used to.
Stuart,
They used to.
I have
They
a
used to
bottle
make
of
it at.
penny we can drink together.
How old is that?
Save it for me, please.
About 34 years old.
Oh my God! See, my one lone venture to Halifax, I had quite a few 10 pennies, only because I had never heard of it when I was out there, and I'm like, oh wow, what is this? And I actually liked it.
Back when I was a kid, I always heard like the more racist adults in the area say, "Oh, it's Indian beer, reservation beer."
On that note, guys, I have to go hang out with the family for the evening.
what?
So
Have a good night. Say hi to the
Cheers.
wife.
Have a good night.
Everybody, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all you guys.
Take it easy.
All right, cheers, guys. Good night.
See ya.
Oh, I thought he'd never fucking leave. Jesus Christ.
I do have a bottle of Golden Eagle Lager from Nepal that I'm bringing up for the beer festival.
Awesome.
I can't wait to watch you guys drink.
I'm ready.
You're drinking it, Joe.
I'll watch you guys. It'll be a lot of fun.
I have my wife beater ready so that I can Simon Joe in the next few days.
I'm ready. Yeah, I told you, drink it up. I cannot wait for it.
I have that bottle of Red Satan sitting there. I sent Chris a message. I'm like, I'm gonna steal Joe's Red Satan. No, you're not. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna steal it.
Cool.
Yeah, if Chris is watching, I'm totally okay with it. I appreciate the sentiment and you sending it, but I want Chad to drink it. I want him to throw in a wife beater because I think he's sexy.
Attaboy.
Yeah. Jim Sears on here just saying good evening. He's watching.
Good evening, Jim. Actually, Jim, if my shift drop went through, I might actually join you for avoiding chores next Friday, because it's the Friday night that I drop.
Cool.
I had to check where I was. I'm like, if I'm at a good bar, I don't want to drop it. And then I'm like, Jeff, you have a rotation on. You get it out. What comes after this spot? Oh, service 15. Oh, area 51. I'm fucking dropping it. Eric, sign the paperwork. Not doing it.
And Ethan asked, besides oak bourbon barrels, aged beers, what other barrels do you guys like beer to sit in or get excited about? Pinot Noir barrels, rum barrels?
Cognac is huge for me. I love cognac barrels. I've never had a tequila barrel ale yet, so I don't know.
I drank. Yeah, speaking. It's funny you say tequila. When I met up with Johnny a couple weeks ago, we drank Agave Maria from Los Abbey, which was in tequila barrels. It was an experience. We'll go with that.
I don't enjoy tequila, so I don't know.
The barrel was so crazy powerful that it was a 12.7 ounce bottle. We split it. We didn't even split it. We probably each had 4 to 5 ounces. That's all I could handle. It was just, there's no way. It was way too crazy sweet.
I've had one gin barrel, and it was actually beautiful. The juniper berries coming through and all that. That was beautiful, but I like gin. I don't like rum, but I love rum barrels for some reason. I think it adds a beautiful touch to a beer. Most red wine barrels are really good for beer, I find. Most red wines work. White wines, I don't know. I've only really had a good white wine from the Chardonnay, from like Golden Shard. All the other white wines, I don't think really.
See, I would think white wine barrels would work pretty much exclusively for maybe like Belgian triples or something like that, because flavor profile so similar.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like Golden Shard was a Belgian. Actually, I think it was a Belgian triple. But I've also had a few saisons and stuff in white wine barrels, and Chardonnays were really the only ones that popped and felt right. I've had some Riesling barrels. I've had some rosé even barrels. I don't like white wine barrels. But
that being said, the apple brandy barrels, when you think about it, that's essentially the same thing as a white wine barrel.
There is ice wine barrels. Ice wine barrels are amazing because they actually make everything taste like apple brandy, and apple brandy is pretty good.
Have you seen that 2-pack they released at the LCBO of the Session Saison, it's the same Saison, but one is aged in white wine barrels, the other is aged in red wine barrels?
No, it didn't hit. Niagara Falls. I actually kind of wanted one. I knew it was a little expensive, so I wasn't sure if I wanted it, but I did kind of want it just to do the comparison because it's the same beer, just white wine and red wine.
A session saison, so you know.
Well, no,
really...
session is it's not session saison, it's session. Toronto session. It's
okay.
It's kind of like mini
beer festival or something.
Because I was going to say, a saison that's actually at the strength it should be.
Personally, I'd say for me, cognac and small sample size with cognac, but brandy, just straight up brandy. The North Coast Old Stock Ale, the Cellar Reserve in brandy barrels, one of the best beers I've ever had. And I don't know if it's I've had the old ale before, just the regular old that they have, and it was good. But brandy barrels, it was fucking amazing.
Everybody needs to get up here as early as they can so we can destroy some of the booze I have too. We can get rid of the 1852 Reserve, the Appalachian barrel aged apple brandy. We can just destroy a bunch of shit here.
And I gotta say, Bellwood's pretty much sold me on cognac barrels. I mean,
actually, I have a bottle of Bring Out Your Dead that I'm trying to hold out till you guys get here too. I can't guarantee it. It's trying to be held out. I have a bottle of 2013 and a bottle of 2014 Obsidian, so that we can do a vertical with them.
Also, whatever bourbon barrel specifically that Goose Island uses for Bourbon County Stout, I would like every beer to be aged in that. Every single one.
Yeah, I wonder what they used on that.
I don't know exactly, but they have pretty much perfected it because. It's sad to drink. Whenever I drink any bourbon barrel aged anything now, it's just it doesn't matter.
It has to be a big bourbon distillery because it has to make enough volume for them. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's no Maker's Mark. I think it's too small. It'd have to be something under probably something under Jim Beam. One of their brands.
How big is Knob Creek?
I don't know. But Jim Beam has so many different little brands under them, so I mean, it could be any one of those, even.
Well, it probably is part of the Jim Beam small batch.
Could be, yeah.
It probably has more to do with the actual base beer, though. Honestly, whatever they do to get it ready for the barrels and whatnot, because I'd assume other breweries have used similar barrels and everything. They've just perfected the aging process and whatever beer they're putting in there, because it's just like it is the beer you look to when I compare.
We need Jameson in here. He could probably tell us right away what fucking bourbon barrel it is.
Would he be sober though?
Probably not. He'd probably tell you you're 100% wrong, but...
Well, that's what I was figuring out. Maybe he would be 100% wrong, too, if he was drunk. I don't know.
But I swear that guy knows bourbon so well that he could probably tell you what barrel, from what warehouse, what serial number on the barrel, stamped in the wood, you know? He'd be like, oh yeah, that tastes like a 2 right there.
I think, isn't Bourbon County, aren't they the ones that they kind of brew a stout specifically for the barrel, and they never have any intention to sell it because they say it's not really a great beer on its own. It sort of has to be barrel aged.
Yes, correct.
Up with another brewer?
No, you are correct. Also, KBS Founders is the exact same thing for KBS. They brew it specifically to go into the barrels. But a couple years, 2012, Goose Island released the base beer with twists on them. One called Big John, which was the base beer with cacao nibs, and then they hopped the piss out of it as well. And it was called Night Stalker, but they have never, to my knowledge, especially in bottles, they have ever released the base beer for mass consumption. And that's the way to go, honestly. If you want a fucking world class barrel aged imperial stout, or any style, you need to brew a beer that you are confident and do a lot of testing that is going to age well in a barrel. You just cannot throw your staples into fucking barrels and pray. Will it work sometimes? Sure shit will. I mean, some breweries might brew an awesome imperial stout that's perfect for barrel aging.
Bolshevik bastard.
Yeah, exactly. well, and last year's was, this year's was apparently a lot better from
Well,
what you guys said.
Bolshevik Bastard is the base beer. Right? Kentucky Bastard and Whiny Bastard are the two barrel aged versions.
Well, I know, but I'm saying last year's Kentucky Bastard was pretty shitty.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with that. He told me that it was in the barrels a little longer than usual, but it didn't even taste like that was the problem.
It did. It was a mess. It wasn't
Yeah.
bad. It was very disjointed.
I'm wondering if the barrels were just overused, if he used them too many times and just hadn't.
To me, there was hardly any bourbon taste in the one last year. And for some reason, I like the Bolshevik Bastard Stout, but for some reason, that stout wasn't there either, so you kind of didn't have any good taste in it.
See, I felt last year's was just, it wasn't blended well. It didn't seem like everything meshed together. It was like things were popping out.
I'm
different
drinking the
sectors.
2014 Cuvée right now, and it's a lot better than last year's too. So I'm wondering if he just got new barrels this year.
Yeah, because it could definitely depend on barrel quality. I mean, if he could only get barrels one year that have been washed out a couple times, like, that's gonna greatly affect the beer. So, like, it might even be like night and day.
Yeah.
So
it all depends.
I mean, this was I bought two of them, and he gave me one that was an underfill, and the low fill wasn't much. It was to here instead of like to here. So he gave me a low fill for review, and I just popped the low fill now, and I was given it like a month and a week ago. So like 6 weeks ago, I was given the bottle. I just popped it now, and it's not as good as I had it the day of. The day they were bottling it, I had it on tap at the brewery. It was on our way to the Cameron's cask night, and it was fucking amazing. But it was still really good. I gave it like a 10 out of 10 when I had it right there. And this, I'd probably give a 9.5 or a 9.75. It's still really good, but it's changed a lot. Like the black pepper's popping, the allspice is gone, the cardamom is sort of showing up, where the orange peel is kind of gone, like, and the hops are showing up now. So it's become a more complete beer now, but I like the taste better before.
yeah. Beer Zircadians on the comments saying Irish whiskey cask from I assume Innocent Gun is what he's talking about. And Ethan's beer review says, have you guys ever tried a hard liquor made by a craft brewery? Example, Rogue Dead Guy whiskey.
Yeah, we actually haven't one of you guys tried some of the beer schnapps with me from
Yeah, I had it.
Yeah, so I've
I think
had
the
beer
coffee
schnapps from Mill Street.
Good.
The Mill Street Coffee Porter, not a bad. Mill Street Coffee Porter beer schnapp, not bad at all. The Tank House Ale, fuck you guys for making that into a beer schnapp. There was no taste. Fuck you. It was just
The thing about Rogues is, what is it, like $300 a bottle? Probably.
Something like that. Yeah, that's the same. I want to try the Anchor Old Ortero or whatever the fuck it's called. But
you know what I should do when you guys are here too, because it's not too far away. It's only like 40 minutes. I should try and get us a tour and tasting at the two craft distilleries that are here in the area. They're both in Grimsby. Because I mean, I know a little bit about distilling, but brewing is what I know. It would be interesting to go for a tour.
Yeah.
Yep. Doer.
I concur.
For what it's worth, a quick internet search tells me that Bourbon County uses Heaven Hill bourbon barrels.
That would explain it. They're one of the highest regarded. So.
Yeah, I mean, and the difference, I mean, with you just talk about Nickelbrook. Now you can't really compare Nickelbrook to Goose Island in terms of size and all that stuff. But the smaller breweries are going to have consistency issues, and Goose Island is pretty much over the last 3 or 4 years has been consistently good with Bourbon County. So yeah, some years it's too fucking hot. It's too hot. Yeah, right. But it's fucking a 15% salt. I mean, it's gonna be.
But
boozy,
some breweries, some of the smaller breweries have to buy the lower end stuff too. I mean, you see a lot of Buffalo Trace barrels all over the place. I mean,
you do, but I mean, that's another thing. Buffalo Trace. I mean, the Hamburg Brewing Company here, about 45 minutes to the south, they got the.
I'm gonna drink this just for Lee.
That's a pretty good beer, and I know Lee told me it was the best he's ever had. I mean, it's no Big Flats though.
I missed it. What was it?
Oh, it's a great brewery.
Granville Island's Lions Winter Ale.
Oh, you enjoy the fuck out of that, sir. Go right ahead.
It's no Big Flats though. Let's be honest. But Hamburg Brewing Company used Buffalo Trace that they got from Premier, and they put their stout in it. They brewed specifically for the barrels, and it was really fucking good. And I think a case of just brewing again the Imperial Stout for the barrels. Regardless of what the barrels are, I still think you can make a really good bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout as long as you know what the fuck you're doing.
Ethan's here, so I'm going to ask Ethan the question here. So Ethan, what's the difference between the two glasses? Other than the no butt plug.
I think
Really?
one is probably for Ethan's vagina and one's for his ass. That's what I think.
Basically, what I'm bringing up here is, why are you only drinking stouts out of this one? This one's pretty much the exact same. Even the angles are the same. The only difference is the bottom. This could be great for stouts too. I mean, look at it. It just is a butt plug stout glass.
That one's ribbed for his pleasure.
This one's a lot wider for his pleasure.
Oh. Can we say gaping, Ethan?
Can we say
Ethan
anal
knows
prolapsing?
You mentioned gin barrels earlier, Chad.
Yes.
When we went to Kunin, the release they had 2 days beforehand, they did it with a local distillery, gin barrels they put their saison in. And it was funny.
I read that they actually have a mead coming out in gin barrels, and I'd love to get my hands on that.
Yeah. But the saison itself, I bought a pour for myself, one for E's buddy Derek, and I drank it, and I'm like, I don't mind gin. I think it's all right. I'm not like in love with it or anything, but I was like, wow, that's pretty tasty. Like it's enjoyable. Derek takes one sip, looks at me, and just shakes his head, says, I can't do it. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't do it? He's like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. The pour was like $8, so I just constantly trolled him the entire night about how ungrateful he is. But it was funny because you saw the difference. Like if you don't like gin, like that beer, not go over. You can't drink more than a sip. He tried another sip, and he's like, I just can't do it, and like pushed it away. It's one of those unique beers, for sure. Yeah, they're doing a lot of crazy meads coming out. They have like a cherry tart and like cherries and cream, and they have a pepper one. They have like 5 coming out this month. Well, I released today, I think.
The Cunahan ones?
Yeah, the Cunahan ones.
Hey, are those Cunahan mead releases, are they as crazy as the 6-pack releases were like a month ago or a few weeks ago, whatever it was?
Well, based on my experience at such releases, I would say probably not. While mead is popular, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, mead is not as popular as beer, and it's not going to be as sought after as the beer.
Only when there's crazy flavors. Like they did like a bourbon barrel aged French toast mead one year, and they released it along with, I think it was at the winter solstice, they released it along with like their beers, and like people, there was like one per person, it was like $25, and there was people trying to get back in line just so they could get another bottle of it, like things like that. The ones that they typically release aren't anything.
I'd love to get the cherry cream, I'd love to get the cherry, the tart cherry, and I'd love to get the gin barrel one.
Yeah.
The other two didn't really appeal to me. But I mean, I was reading it, and they're talking about using orange blossom honey. So that's kind of like I was talking about how I know how much honey costs to do a big batch. Orange blossom honey is the most expensive you can use, so a little bit more understanding of the price, but still a little overpriced. But hey, they're selling it, so whatever.
You need like from my personal experience, you need to get Scrams. You need it next time you stops by or does a review or fest or whatever. See if you can bring a bottle or two. I mean, they're more expensive. I think the Kunin meads are like $18 for 12 ounces, and the Scrams are like $20 to $25. But man, they are so fucking good. I brought the apple bottle that I bought to Christmas and shared it with my family, and a lot of them were wine drinkers and not into sweet things, and they absolutely loved it. Everyone got like an ounce and a half pour. Fucking good, man.
We finished the I brought Christmas Day. I went over to the Cantankerous Cook's house, and I brought the rest of the Moniac mead with me, and I brought the maple cider, and I brought one of my ice ciders, and we destroyed all 3 bottles. Me, him, the cartoon, and and Anna, one of their friends, and the four of us destroyed what was left of the mead, and we destroyed the two ciders, and it was an awesome night, and they loved all of it. And I really wish I could get. Actually, I might actually try and get the wife to take me to Coeur de Bois this year, so I can Pinnacle, so I can buy a whole bunch of that shit because I want all that stuff in my basement. I want more of the apple brandy. I want more of the apple cider. I want more of the maple cider. I want more of the fucking maple whiskey. I want boxes of that shit in the basement.
Seems like you're gonna have a hoarding problem like DJ.
My problem is that I kind of hoard only because I don't want to drink it because I like it so much. Like I have a half bottle. I have a half bottle of Coeur de Bois left, and I'm trying to save it for when you guys get here so that we can destroy it together. Because Lee, you tried it, didn't you? I know. Joe has tried it, but it's a great whiskey, and I don't want to drink it all because once I drink it, I can't have any more of it. So
what whiskey is that?
The Coeur de Bois, the maple whiskey.
No, never had it.
No?
Nope.
I was sure I gave you a shot of it when you were here. Maybe I gave it to somebody else. Okay,
if you did, I forgot because
maybe Paul. I know me and Paul were drinking. I got Paul fucked the first night, like fucked. And
speaking of which, aside from Lee, anyone check out the Sukaba review that he did?
The Parabola, you mean, wasn't it?
No, Sukaba.
Oh, it's the Sukaba. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was an now. Imagine. Imagine him at like an hour later, man. It was unbelievable how I just fucked with him. It was so great. He almost killed me, but it was still
actually Lee. You might actually like this year. The Winter's Ale. There's no mint in it anymore. It's just chocolate. And
were there any almond husks in that? Any almond husks at all?
I love that. So no notes that ever appear in this beer at all.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No oak, no vanilla, no anything like that.
I know everyone's palate is different, but dude, maybe you really are Sasquatch. Maybe your taste buds are from a whole different species.
Yeah, I was like, fair enough, Paul. Yeah, that's like you're getting different flavors, like almond husks. That's good times.
Almond husks and heat. That's basically all he does.
He was like, "It's real hot." I'm like, "Oh, is it hot? Is it burning your tongue right now? What's happening, Paul?"
That was a fun review.
It was a lot of fun. The best part he cut out. It was like it was at the end, and he's like, "Oh, Joe." He's like, "What do you think?" I take the glass and I sniff it like for about a second. I go, take a sip, and I just go, "Yep, 10 out of 10, fuck off," and just like hand it back to him. It was a good night. It was a good night. That was the last review that we did.
I think he's never taken off days because he was perfectly fine the next, like, 2 days later when all of us were in the basement just drinking all night. He was perfectly fine, but with just me and him, I got him so fucked he couldn't even hold the glass. Like, yeah. I don't know how he broke it because I fell down a flight of stairs and didn't break the glass that he broke. So I don't know what he did, but somehow I'm still finding little shards of glass in my bedroom.
Oh, jeez.
You should have poured him a glass of something and said, "This is the greatest pour you will ever know," because he appreciates that, and so does his wife. Yeah. Yeah, Paul, for a big dude, man, it's like quickly downhill for him. Like, he goes from like everything's okay, and then like two beers later, he's done. Totally done.
He is. Paul, if you're watching right now, which you might, I don't know if you're at work or not. I don't know what your schedule is.
I think he said he'd be back.
You are like, fine. Oh my fucking god, I'm falling over.
His tolerance a little thin.
His tolerance is a little thin. Yeah. No, actually, you know what? He has a really good tolerance, but unlike like me or Lee or even E or who else was here? Guy. Unlike us, he jumps huge from I'm fine to I'm fucked. Where we have our different variations of I'm fine, oh I'm tipsy, oh I'm starting to slur, oh I'm getting there, oh my god I'm fucked. He's just fine, fucked. There's no in between.
Very much.
My younger brother at 6'5.5" at 320.
Wait. Are you guys half brothers?
Total brothers.
This is like the real life
What the fuck happened
twins.
to you?
It's
What
like the real
happened to
life
you?
twins playing out, right? Movie.
Okay, continue your story, Mr. 5'1".
I'm not 5'1". Holy shit, I'm not that short. Anyways, my younger brother, like I said, 6'5.5", 320, right, the giant younger brother. He does the same thing. He goes this way. He gets up there, getting drunk. Then it doesn't. He doesn't hit the top. He goes back down.
We had a good weekend. We had a good week. I wish the problems that happened in the Maritimes didn't happen, so you guys could have all been here longer. But it was a good week. It was a good weekend. I'm glad to have gotten to meet everybody. I'm glad that we're doing it again, and hopefully we can hang out longer. And like I said, if the year goes well, I'm going to try to get to Nova Scotia and New Brunswick in July or October on either of my other vacations, and see what happens then.
Well, anytime you guys are coming, me and Nick are here. I've got a whole house here for any place to stay in. So.
Yeah, if that was the case, I just take the bus up to Peters from Nova Scotia. We all meet in New Brunswick, so we meet halfway instead of.
Oh, Lee, you're not that far away. We could even drive up and get you, because even if we're going to drive to Nova Scotia and hit the liquor stores there and grab a few special things. So.
I'd probably want to hit Nova Scotia anyway because I want to go. There are some things in Nova Scotia I want to see. Like I want to go to Halifax at some point in my life and see the.
Yeah.
I want to see the fort there. Basically, I've traveled to Canada seeing the different forts. I've never been to Nova Scotia yet to see theirs.
Lunenburg.
You can go to Citadel Hill and meet all the gay prostitutes. And...
I've been there. It's not good. Okay, what?
I said I'm okay with gay people. The best man at my wedding was very gay.
That's how you know. That's how you know you hate homosexuals, right there. That's like, I don't hate black people. I have a black friend. Great.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
I was a groomsman at his wedding. Okay. Fuck you.
But you guys, if you're going this way. If you're going this way, you definitely got to hit St. John because you got to see what Shane Steve from Hammer River Brewing is making. It's amazing. It'll blow your fucking mind. He's got a tiny brewery, but no, it's not even a brewery. It's in his house in his basement. The stuff he makes. Fuck.
See, that would never be allowed to be a commercial brewery in Ontario. You'd have to have a separate building and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, the stuff he's, like I said, just in his house is a tiny house or a tiny room in the basement. And the beer he makes, my fuck, guys.
So is he doing like a one barrel system? Is he one barrel nano brewery? Is he 2.5 or 1.5? What's he pushing out?
Well, he's got the the little like the little kegs, like not sure what to call that, because like I really don't know. But they
well, you have firkins. Your firkins are basically your casks, so like your 5 liter. You have your conies, which are your half kegs, and then you have your full kegs.
Got a few big ones there. I don't know. I'll send you the link, Chad, for because I got the few pictures that's in his house stuff. What he has.
Cool. No, I'm always actually I'm amazed that Broadhead actually just hit the LCBO. Broadhead's in Ottawa. They actually were a nano brewery. I don't know how big they've grown. They must have grown big enough to get to the LCBO, even if it's only the Ontario region. But they, the Ottawa region. They have their amber ale in the LCBO, and I mean at the same time, yeah, you got your amber ale in the LCBO, but why, if you're only going to be in your area, are you putting your normal beer in? Have them come to you for that beer. Have them come to you because you're actually making 55% more if they buy it at your brewery than if they buy it at the LCBO. You sell it for $3 at your brewery, you're making $2.75. You know, like well, probably $2. You sell it at the LCBO, you're making 50 cents. It's just an average beer. You're not expanding your market by putting your amber ale into the LCBO.
I have a beer related question to hold the whole. You asked about the different things, like favorite beer or brewery, new brewery, and all that stuff we already talked about. But I was wondering, kind of in relation, what styles of beer this year did you guys really take a liking to that maybe in the past you really weren't into? And on the flip side, are there any styles that you kind of fell out of favor with you, like that you maybe were huge fans of or tolerated, and now you're just like, if I see that, I don't really gravitate towards it at all?
Sick of pumpkin beers. I could take or leave them at this point. I don't care if they're great. I'm not really interested in them anymore.
I agree with you and disagree with you at the same point. I'm sick of pumpkin beers because I'm sick of trying new ones that all fucking suck.
Like 90% of them are
there's a list
tolerable
of
at best.
Yeah, there's a list of 4 or 5 pumpkin beers that I will buy if I ever get the chance to, and other than that now, I'm probably not touching a new pumpkin beer. I will just for the review, but just to try everything. I am tired of pumpkin beers now. Like I said, I'm starting to lose. Like I've never been a big IPA fan, but you give me a good balanced IPA, and I'm in heaven. You guys should know that from the videos. For those of you that are watching, if it's a well balanced IPA, I'm in heaven. But like we talked about earlier, the fact that every brewery is only seeming to use the same 6 to 10 hops, I'm starting to lose favor in them, and they're just all the same. I just don't care anymore, and I do it when I review them too. I taste it, and I'm like, why? And I put it down. I'm like, you're the exact same as the last 10 IPAs I've drank. Saisons to the same point too, because everybody's fucking making saisons now, and they all have basically the same taste, and they're all basically overpriced. But things that I'm liking more and more quads, because more and more quads are becoming available here. There's more and more smoked beers coming out too, and they're actually not as smoked as a lot of the German smoked beers. They're not like basically bacon beers, so I can actually drink them. And,
don't like the smoked beers. Just can't stand them.
And coffee beers. I don't like coffee at all, but there's a lot of them that are coming out with higher quality coffee, so it actually tastes better than the lower quality coffee that's in a lot of them at the same time. So I'm starting to enjoy more coffee stouts and more coffee porters and coffee pale ales and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them we're getting here for coffee beers, so just taste like instant coffee, and that's about it.
I've been favoring IPAs more this year with Bone Shaker and fucking Hot Pot showing up, and the Garrison IPA, Vickers Cross, stuff like that. Definitely buy that a lot more now. So.
For me, it's actually hours. Up until last year, I really couldn't stand them, and now I'm still not the biggest fan of them, but when they're well made, I can really enjoy them. And on the flip side, IPAs, I used to love any kind of IPA I could get my hands on. Nowadays, I love most of them, but some hop profiles just don't seem to do it for me nowadays.
Brad?
Well, I don't know if there's certain styles that I've fallen out of love with, but I haven't bought a Belgian quad or triple or anything really Belgian for a long time. Not that I don't like them, but I don't know. I've been on an IPA craze myself.
You're always on an IPA craze, let's be honest.
Definitely my favorite style of beer. So, still excite me. I'm happy to try the new ones. So.
How about you, Don? Any styles you've been liking more and more? Any styles less and less?
More and more. I mean, there's one I've had here from Moosehead. Lee, you've had the Boundary, right?
Pretty decent.
The guy at Moosehead, their brewmaster, they're kind of letting him go to do what he wants. And he kind of put a black IPA on that, and he cast it. I
heard. I heard that essentially their cask ale was essentially just Boundary Ale put in a barrel or whatever. Yeah.
And me and Nick went down and had it, and my fuck, it was fantastic.
Nice.
Cool. Nice. All right, with that, guys, I have to take off. I have to take the dog out, and then I gotta do some other shit. So I'm going
You're gonna go masturbate, aren't you?
I'm going to verbally masturbate about movies. Yes.
The king of beer tube does what he wants.
Verbally masturbate about movies. So what you're saying is you're going to record a movie podcast without me there.
That's right.
Fuck you. Fuck you. And because of that, I'm going to drink this Dead Elephant Ale.
All right. Good night, gentlemen.
Take it easy.
Cheers. Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
Railway City's Dead Elephant Ale. Railway City.
Where's Berzaka? Where's the Berzaka? He did the, he fucking put up that Celebrator review, and he did a remix of me saying Berzaka, and then Lee, I believe, describing the beer, and he put it in his review, and it was pretty awesome. Also, really, really scary at the same time. I don't appreciate it, Berserker, but I kind of do.
You love it.
He asked me, he's like, is it okay if I put it in the review? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
You know who's going to be here tomorrow night? The man-child comes back.
Oh, yeah, I saw on Facebook he said he's flying back today, right?
Oh, the man-child.
The man-child is back in the basement tomorrow night.
Better hide all your liquor.
Talking about hiding liquor. So, my kids came back. My kids came back on Monday. Oh, who the fuck is that? my kids came back on Monday. It's Brad. Bradley.
Brad, echo.
Echoed again.
What am I doing?
You're echoing.
See how fast we figured that out? See how fast we figured that out?
I don't know. It must be Google Plus. Sorry, Brad.
It must be. Anyway, so my kids came back Monday, and the in-laws brought the kids back, and they stayed until Friday. They left Friday. So they came here, and I locked my door because Christy's dad is basically an alcoholic as much as she doesn't want to admit it. And I guess he got mad that it was locked, and he's like, I do all this shit for you, and I can't even have a beer. I go, no, you can't. You can't have a fucking beer, because when I go to work, I come home to a fucking half bottle of whiskey gone, 6 beers, this and that. No, you can't go in my bar. Fuck you. Like, really. I bought a bottle of really expensive bourbon that I was saving for something special, and I hadn't even opened it yet, and like 3/4 of the bottle is gone for this last visit. So whenever he comes, and I'm not at the house, I lock the fucking bar.
I would too.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And she's mad at me now too. She's like, they're mad. They didn't want you to know, so that a fight didn't start. I'm like, fuck that shit. You keep your fucking dad away from my fucking bar. And I'm drinking this IPA out of the IPA glass, so it must be better, right, Ethan?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it's fucking amazing. Guaranteed amazing. Probably 11 out of 10.
I don't use that glass very much.
No, dude, I have it, and I just, every time I'm going to drink an IPA or a double IPA, I seriously stare at it like, I haven't used that in a while, and I'm not going to.
Fucking gay, I'm not even going to use you.
I bought, like I was saying to the guys, I hadn't gotten new glassware in a while, and they were on Amazon. It was a 2-pack for $20 of that, and then a 2-pack for $20 of the stout glass, which is the exact same fucking glass with the butt plug rims.
It's
and actually, we made fun of it earlier because apparently our good buddy Ethan and Ethan were just trolling you to troll you. We actually do like you, but you do.
No, not really, Ethan. I fucking hate you.
Everybody can troll me about having no pigment. I can troll you about this. But apparently he was like, I drink just stout out of this because it's so good. It's the exact same fucking glass.
Yeah, it is.
It's the exact same angle, the exact same everything. The only thing that's different is the bottoms. The bottom stamps are the only thing that's different.
what's at the bottom? It's ribbed, so it brings out the hop flavor for the IPAs. Oh yeah, glory.
You know
Rib
what
for,
it really does?
rib
The
for
only thing that
IPA
Shapeable
pleasure.
Glass does is make it a luxurious head. I mean, really, when you pour into these glasses, they actually look really nice. They're visually appealing because they make a luxurious head. Other than that, there's no real difference. Come on, baby.
I don't know. The best glasses I ever had was dollar store. I mean,
The dollar
They do the
one
job.
dollar store glass that I love, and I actually love using it for reviews. And
I broke all mine.
I mean, you can buy the dollar store goblets. You can buy the dollar store the snifters. You can buy the dollar store tulips. But it's another one. It kind of starts with a little tulip shape, and then it goes straight up.
You showed it to us last time.
Yeah, that's the one I really, really like. I buy it every time I find it, except for some reason I seem to break it all the time. But I actually fell in love with that glass when I started drinking out of it in Steve Buscemi's office. He's the owner of Bose. I drank out of it with him all day. We all had those glasses, and they're great. They're great for tasting if you only fill up like the bottom bit, just to the top of the bowl, because then you get all the nose when you're sniffing it, and then when you're ready to taste, just fill the whole thing up because who cares, and you drink it. But it's a great little review glass.
Where's my dollar store Taku?
Taku.
Where's the dollar store Taku? They have to happen at some point. Maybe a $2 Taku. I don't know.
I've only have the one Taku and I have the one Feku, and that's it. And I wish I kind of had more of each because they're glasses that I really do like to use for visual appeal. But that's about it. I mean, the only problem is the Taku I have is the one from Beyond the Pale, and I mean, it's great to see a small Ontario brewery making a Taku, but the fucking white picket fence that goes almost all the way around it makes it hard for me to show the beer for a review purpose. You know, like, look at this, and without showing Beyond the Pale logo. Because I like to flip them around so you don't really see the logo if I'm not drinking that beer.
That's hilarious. At the Kunin release, in addition to whatever amount of beer you bought, the first 100 people got a special glass. It ended up being a shaker pint with their logo on it.
A shaker pint?
I fucking threw...
Kunin with a shaker?
Yeah, it was just it was just a regular little piece of shit pint glass that I fucking broke. No, I didn't break it. But I was just like, what? This, like, I don't know.
Isn't that one of the things that the U.S. craft beer movement is trying to get rid of?
I mean, whatever. Pint glass is pint glass. Fine, drink out. It's just like, now I thought, like, Kunin being Kunin, like, okay, what are you releasing? You're releasing a bourbon barrel aged barley wine, bourbon barrel aged fucking old ale, bourbon barrel aged this, bourbon barrel aged this, blah, blah, blah.
At the very least, you
fucking pint glass?
Expecting a Brussels or something.
Dude, I was thinking anything. Fucking the butt plug glass. Give me something that isn't a fucking glass you can get anywhere.
You know what I find hysterical? I bought they're both unmarked, right? They're just the Spigaloo fucking glasses, right from Germany, and they're both unmarked, but they on the box talk about the breweries that helped design them. So this was designed first, if I remember correctly, and
Sierra Nevada Dogfish Head.
And Dogfish Head designed that, and then this
with a left hand,
left hand and Rogue, exact same fucking glass, just straight stamp, just stamped down, and you're done. So what you're basically saying is the same thing I've always known, which is that Rogue is not very inventive.
No, they're overpriced fucking...
Sriracha ale? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I was actually gonna buy some.
The cost of that too. The shipping cost on it is exorbitant.
Yeah, I was gonna buy a couple bottles and potentially bring them to the fest, and then maybe just drink one around here. And then I realized, why am I giving Rogue money? It seems like a terrible idea. Yeah, it's a fucking stout with sriracha. I'm sure it's fucking horrible because it's Rogue, right? Brad, I saw you got a lot of Founders beers. Did you pick those all up in Arizona when you went?
Yeah, I did.
Nice. What did you get, like one of each? Or did you get 4-packs, 6-packs? What'd you do?
Yeah, I got a couple 4-packs. I like the breakfast stout.
For the viewers we have, give us some questions.
Rubeus? Rubeus?
Yeah, Ruby. That's how you say it.
Did you hang out with Thomas?
No, I didn't. He's not on YouTube very much anymore. So
No, he isn't. He seems to be very busy now.
Who isn't on YouTube anymore?
James.
Oh, no. Yeah, he's only posted a video or two over like the last 6 months.
I just figured you were in Arizona. I know you've hung out with him before. That maybe you get together for a beer or something.
Yeah, I would have been down
it's
to
the
that.
It's the one good thing about YouTube is even once you're out of YouTube, you usually still hang out with YouTubers every once in a while.
Yeah, you can't private message anymore, though.
Mm-hmm.
But even I did.
You
Last
still
time I went
can
down there, and he didn't
You
reply
still
to me.
can
So.
message. I just don't know the secret way to do it.
It's YouTube.com /messages, I believe is the way. It just brings you basically Google.
Opposed to just going on my channel and having it be right there or something easy.
Yeah, no, this is Google.
People still message me, so I know you can still do it. I just have no clue how to do it. And I'll have people that aren't hooked up with Google Plus that are like making comments, and I can't reply to them, and they're like, they'll make another comment a few weeks later. You didn't respond, and I still can't tell them why I didn't. Oh my God! Put your headphones in, bitch.
Yeah, Brad, that's serious. That goes rough.
Oh, that's what it is. My speaker's fucked too. That could be it.
Well, I mean, you can have it low. Oh my God, you can have it low and.
I'm putting in the headphones, man.
Yeah, no, I don't usually use headphones as much as I used to. I'll have it unplugged a lot, and you don't hear it. But my laptop is very quiet, so it doesn't carry up to the microphone.
Is that better?
That's
Worse.
amazing.
Did that loon that you sent me, Brad? Did you actually have that one yourself or no?
I didn't.
Oh God, man.
It was terrible, eh?
Oh, it wasn't terrible, dude. It was number one. It smelled just amazingly like something I don't want to drink. Barnyard / fucking hay /
Cantillon's super funk, man.
Like, dude, the funk on that was that was the funkiest beer I've ever smelled.
Yeah.
And then the taste was just like straight lemon juice to the point.
Be right back, guys. I just got to run upstairs for a second.
Right? It was lemon juice too. It was just, oh my God, it was so acidic too. Both Johnny and I, about 45 seconds after we took our first sip, both had heartburn. That's how addictive it was. Oh man,
I feel bad.
No, I fucking was. He was pumped because I think he only had what you call peach one. What is it? Fufun. Fufun.
Yeah, every one that I bought sold out, so I only got like I got 5 different ones, maybe. One of each.
Yeah, it was cool to try another one. But you know, of the two I've had, that and the Rose de Gambrinus or whatever. Not really impressed. I'm sure if I had the Fufun or the Creek or maybe even the original, I probably would be a little bit more, you know, up my alley. Maybe. Well, we had a Wicked Weed Sour. They're on a brewery out, I think, North Carolina. And it was a sour cherry, just American Wild Ale, I believe, and it was awesome. And we had that before the Cantillon. Of course, Johnny, in his infinite wisdom, tried to open up the cap, and it was so loose it fell into the bottle. The cork. It broke off and fell into the bottle. So when he does his pour, when he releases the video, you'll actually see like the cork just bobbing there as he's pouring. It's pretty awesome.
How come it fell into the bottle? It was just
yeah.
Maybe that's why it was tasted off, too.
Maybe. Well, we can be the first, probably not the first, but one of the few that had a cork-aged Cantillon. How about that? Cork-aged.
Was it in the bottle the whole time, or just when you opened it?
No, just he opened it and he went to go, like, you know,
and it
take
just
it out.
fell in.
And well, at first I think it broke off at top, and he tried to jam the contraption in there and get it out, and it went further down and just fell right in.
Fuck.
It was insanely off-putting at first because it's like, that can't be good. But it ended up being decent.
Like, I bet a lot of those beers should be stored on their side, right?
Yeah.
Because it's a cork and they're stored upright on a shelf.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't, you know, you bought it and then set it my way, and I didn't have it for that long, so it's just like, I mean, it was a 2013, I believe, as well, so it wasn't all that old.
Yeah, could just stay off bottle.
Yeah. Man, that Coonan release though, holy fuck, man. It was a cool experience, and I enjoyed it, and I think it was worth the effort going to it. But
how far is that for you to drive?
It was 6 hours. Well, 4 hours if I go through southern Ontario, 6 if I go around Lake Erie through Cleveland.
Yeah, that's a decent drive.
But it was cool because we got to stop in Cleveland, did some reviews of Johnny.
Yeah, cool.
Stopped at a couple bottle shops in Cleveland. But man, it was sad to see like what. I mean, I know that's what craft beer has become in a lot of respects with the special bottle releases, but seeing it before your eyes is kind of sad. Like there were no lie about through the first 50 to 75 people in line. There were probably about 3 or 4 moms that had no idea what they were doing, like oblivious to why they were there, not like on their phone, texting their son or whoever. And you knew they didn't drink beer, but they were there to mule it for whoever was able to make it. This one kid, I'd say kid because he looked like he was in his like early 20s. He was probably about, I don't know, maybe 20 people back from us, and he brought his mom with him. She, of course, looked like she should probably be at home, like knitting a sweater or something, like anything but being there, right? Like she wanted no part of it, like. And she just like stood there the whole time, like just looking, like I don't know. And I was just like, holy shit, man! All for beer. I was like, I don't think I could ever ask someone who doesn't care about that stuff to sit there for 5.5 hours to get beer.
Oh wow! And then, yeah, you still gotta wait to get certain beers.
Oh yeah, you and I showed up at 5:15 a.m. for 11 a.m. release.
Holy fuck!
But it was cool because there's bottle shares going on and stuff. I didn't have any problem with it because it wasn't bad. And about 7 o'clock or so, this big tented area, they put heaters in there, and we all got to go in. You and I were the 21st and 22nd person respectively in line.
Nice.
It was pretty cool. It was a cool experience, and it was well worth the effort. I mean, I ended up getting my case of beer, and it was fucking awesome. Got to try some beers at Coonan's both Friday night and Saturday. But it was sad just seeing like some of the people abuse it, and then people showing up at 11 a.m., getting in line, waiting a couple hours, and then having them be told that, hey, we no longer, we're sold out. They post on their Facebook page.
Right there.
But they post on their Facebook page, 300 cases available, so 1 case limit, so that's 300 people. If you're going to expect to show up at 11 a.m., knowing how the beer scene is nowadays, how beer has exploded, that's on you. But people
when there's people there at 5 in the morning, you can't show up at 11 o'clock.
And you know what? Next year, people will be there at 3 in the morning. Year after that, be there at 1 in the morning. It just that's how it goes. So, if you're going to get shut out, you got to put in the effort to get there, and you can't just no longer releases like that can you show up at the time it's supposed to be released and expect to get stuff. It doesn't work that way anymore. So everyone started fucking tearing apart Coonan on Facebook. Oh, what a terrible release, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, maybe you don't show up at 11 a.m.
You're like, I got mine.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you showed up by about 9, I think it was like 9 a.m. You got your allotment, which was a case. And anyone who showed up,
a case of 12 is that?
No, you get 24 bottles there. They made 6 different beers, and you got 4 of each, so a 24 case bottle, 24 bottle case.
It was kind of like a package deal, or could you just get?
You could get one. You could buy one between 1 to 4 6-packs. So you could, and they were 37. Yeah, they were $37 a 6-pack. So $6 a beer. So which special release barrel aged stuff, not horrible. And that's what you kind of pay for KBS.
Yeah, I've seen some of those kind of videos for Surly or
not that bad.
Pink Floyd's that just looks like a lot of fun though.
It is. I mean, the bottle sharing, the conversations. It wasn't like you're just sitting in line just staring at a wall or something. You're actually talking with people who share the same interests, kind of like you do on this show, kind of like we do in beer tubing in general, even though I'm on the channel. But the thing is, is that it was just funny to see everyone who's butthurt because they don't put in the effort. You know, it's like everyone who wants everything. And understand, it would be great to just magically every year Bourbon County's released to be able to buy a case and not worry about it. It doesn't work like that, and it's not going to work like that. So
No.
to get angry at the brewery or get angry at people in front of you because they showed up earlier, I don't understand that. Like,
You gotta work for the good stuff, eh?
that's pretty much it. You want the good stuff, you got to put in the effort.
You know what? Though? I think what Founders does with like KBS, where they just sell you tickets and then for $5 you just pick it up anytime during the day you want.
Yeah, but look at it like this, Greg, and I thought that, but you know how many places do that, and then their site gets hammered, or people didn't get there and got there 2 seconds later and they're sold out. They do the same bitching. It's
you know what? At least you're not sitting out there getting frostbite for 3 hours.
true, but here the difference between that and actually going in person is online. You could have a problem with your internet, or you could have a problem with the site being down. You could miss out. With the other way, just show up earlier than the next person in front of you. That's pretty much what it comes down to. It's easier to do that. I agree. I would love to be able to just buy a ticket and say, hey, come pick it up anytime this weekend, for instance. Like if you have the 19th, 20th, and 21st or whatever to come and get your beer.
So
that would be
What
great.
time did you guys show up at? What time did you guys show up at?
5:15 a.m.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck showing up 6 hours beforehand.
That's the thing is, I mean,
Depends on how much you want it. I mean, and we want it.
It doesn't matter how much you want it. Fuck showing up 6 hours beforehand for beer. Were you in the first 100?
We were the 21st and 22nd.
Yeah, see, that's even worse. At 5:15 a.m., there were still 20 people ahead of you in line.
There were.
So that's just getting stupid. You know what? There's so many breweries that have shown the way to do it now, and I think that was more the complaint. It was people weren't even able to get into the bar to have it, or people were in the bar that didn't want to buy the 6-pack, and people had to wait longer to get into the line for the 6-pack. I read through all those comments. And
and a lot of them people are
here's the
misinformed, so you can't believe everything what they say. I was there, and I saw how it went down.
Again, I read through every single comment. Some of them were stupid. Some of them seemed to have some variance of sanity. Some of them were just too much against the brewery. But if you people don't want to have to wait in line at 5:15 and don't want to have to pay because a lot of people were about the price. The price wasn't all that bad for the 6-pack. I mean, when you looked at what was in the 6-pack,
$40 for a 6-pack is fine. That's seven. That's six. Less than $7.
What was in that 6-pack? It actually wasn't bad. It was just bad when you had to buy the 6-pack at once instead of being able to pick single beers. So that's the only way it was bad. But I mean, the 6-pack itself put together, $40, not a bad price at all. But where was it? The only problem is that they were like, oh, we didn't expect this many. How did you not expect that many people? These stupid bottle releases are getting crazier and crazier in every state every single time you do them. You should have expected that because it's not even people that want to drink your beer. It's not even your fans that are there for the most part. It's people that want to mule them or that want to hoard them for trades and this and that. That's the problem with it. If you don't want to pay that money and you don't want to have to wait in line like that, stop going. Sooner or later, this stuff will stop if you stop supporting it. But people keep supporting it and then wondering why it's getting crazier and crazier.
Well, I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. The people who complain are the ones that want everything handed to them. That's where it comes down. People want to show up people complain. I showed up at 11 a.m. and I waited in line and they sold out. Well, here's the thing. They posted 4 or 5 days beforehand, said they had 300 cases. They said it was a case per person. So simple math tells me that if everyone buys their allotment, that's 300 people. You also know, what did you just say, how stupid fucking bottle releases are, right? How crazy they are, whether it's mules, whether it's just people, whatever. It's crazy. Put 2 and 2 together. You can't show up at 11 a.m. bottle release and expect to get anything. And if so, the fault is on you. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say Coonan ran it to perfection because I heard inline some horror stories about prior years. This year was actually ran like 100 times better than previous years. They actually had a tent with fucking heat around 7 a.m. for people. And, this is 4 hours before they opened, and there were people there doing that. They didn't fuck the lineup at all. Everyone in line.
What time did 300 people end up hitting there?
I couldn't tell you, but I'll tell you this. About 6 o'clock, there were at least another 50 to 75 people behind me. Probably by 7, there was probably 200. I'd say probably 7:30, maybe 7:30ish.
That's where it gets fucking stupid. You shouldn't show up at 11 expecting to get it. Yeah, okay, I understand that. But you shouldn't have to show up at fucking 7 a.m. to get an 11 a.m. fucking release.
Well, unfortunately, in this day and age, that's how this world works. It's not dependent upon what you think it should be. It's how it works. And if you're not game to what's going on and you don't understand, then you're not getting it. If you don't put common sense together, and a lot of these people showing up, oh, I was here last year and they released it at 7 a.m. and I was here at 5 a.m. and I got mine. That was last year. Do you know how ridiculous the fucking craft beer scene has popped in the last year? It's fucking astronomical now. It's to the point where you show up at fucking 8, 9, 10 o'clock for 11 a.m. release, you're not guaranteed shit. And that's what people want. People want shit handed to them. And unfortunately, I don't want to be out. Like, I would prefer not to wait. Why would I want to wait in line for 5.5 hours? Why would that be something I prefer? But I wanted the bottles. I had a realistic idea of how many people are going to show up. I know how many cases there are. I know how many people are going to be there, guesstimating. I showed up at 5:15. I got my bottles. Why? Because I waited a couple extra hours and someone else was willing to.
No,
so let's blame the brewery.
No, it's not blame the brewery.
No, but people are blaming the brewery.
But I'm not blaming the brewery. I'm saying I'm blaming the entire fucking stupidity that has become the craft beer industry for that.
I can't disagree that it is out of hand. I can't disagree. I can't disagree with you that it is out of hand, and I would prefer it not to be. And you're right. Until people stop, going to these things and stop fucking having beers that are just specifically to mule, you're gonna always have these issues. I have the problems with the people who, on Facebook or wherever, are yelling at the brewery about, oh, well, I showed up at 11 a.m. and I waited in line for an hour and a half and I didn't get anything.
Well, my question about
sorry to you.
Would it have killed the brewery to maybe kind of go out and say, hey, anyone past this point, you're likely not going to get it? Because
they did. That's when people got upset because they go, oh, I've been waiting here for an hour. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Well, that right there is the brewery should have known ahead of time. You go down your lineup, you see 600 people in line before you even open. To any new person coming, you're not getting any beer. Don't get in line.
Listen, I don't know exact dates, but I just know that people were showing up when we were leaving at 1:32 because we stayed there an extra couple hours. We actually had the beers on taps and stuff. We were there. And people were showing up and getting turned away, and they were getting all upset, like, oh, what do you mean? It's 11 a.m. release. It's like, you're showing up at 1:30, buddy. Are you fucking serious? Showing up at 1:30, thinking you're going to get anything? The one thing I did disagree with them, and when we were in line, it was really weird for them to do. Instead of going in to get your case and then going to get whatever specialties they had on tap, you first got whatever specialties they had on tap, then you went and got your case.
Well, yeah, and that's the complaint that I saw the most of on there.
That didn't make sense to anybody, though. It's like, why shouldn't you be able to go buy your allotment of the bottled stuff and then go get something if you want to stay? Why do I have to wait for all these people in line in front of me if I don't want anything from them? But I understand they wanted it more organized so they didn't have people running all over, because Koonin is a small place. It really is. And with that many people, you probably don't want a shit ton of people going into the brewery, shit ton of people going out to the outside, shit ton of people going to get the beer. It would have been a fuck story to epic proportions if you're allowing 3 separate things to happen at the same time. It is a small brewery. But I was telling Chad before, how many mom mules there were. It was pretty epic to watch, a 60-year-old woman looking like she wanted to be anywhere but there at 7 in the morning, just staring around in a daze, texting or talking to their son on the phone about what's it called again? What am I getting? It's unbelievable. You guys are fucking idiots. Give me a break. Those are the ones that ruin it for a lot of people. The people that a guy that was 20 people behind us had his ma in tow with him, and you could tell she just didn't care. She didn't care at all.
She's willing to stand in line though too, right?
Yeah, well, that's her son. He's probably like, Ma, would you do this for me? And it's probably her ma. And if she's a good mom, she's probably just like, yeah, I'll do it. She's not oblivious to whatever. She doesn't understand she's taking a case from someone else who maybe really wants it and isn't able to get it. Fuck that. That's an
She doesn't care. She's helping her boy out.
Oh,
get 2 cases.
Yeah.
Well, this year's Bring Out Your Dead release, the very first person in line was a mom mule.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Well, but
mules in general are terrible. I'll tell you that. Like for instance, I could have brought average dad in there. I could have had say, hey dad, I need to get up at 4 a.m. and I want you to wait in line for something that you have no interest in at all. While we do this, because I need an extra. Yeah, so Chad can get a case, and he would have been like, "Fuck that dude." No, he would have been like, if he, you know what, he probably would have done it if I asked, because he's awesome. But I'm not going to have my dad get up at 4 a.m. and sit in line for 6 hours for something I know he doesn't care about specifically.
It's a big
I understand
favor.
lines, okay? I accept lines and all that, but you shouldn't have to stand in line for 6 hours to guarantee that you're going to get something. There should be a way to do it, and I mean, other breweries have done it where they're making a festival out of it. They're making a festival out of it, but they're selling tickets online and all that. And I know you were just saying why that doesn't matter, but
it's on the eye of the beholder, though. What is better? I mean, I think that is a better option personally, because it gives everyone the fair chance, right? You can get on your computer as long as you get to the tickets before they're sold out. You don't have to leave the comfort of your home. You don't have to sit in line for 5 or 6 hours.
You can still leave the comfort of your home just to go get some cool on-tap beers with the food vendors and everything.
True. But at the same time, it might lessen the complaints from people, but at the same time, you're still going to have complaints. People, oh, I couldn't get to the site. Oh, I couldn't get out of work. It's like, there's always going to be those complainers.
People showing up after 1 o'clock thinking they were going to get beer is just fucking stupid. And I think
people showing up at 11 o'clock thinking they were going to get.
People shouldn't have to show up at 5 a.m. to get a beer that isn't released until 11 a.m.
They shouldn't, but unfortunately, in the last 2 or 3 years, that is how big bottle releases work. And if you are keen to anything,
what they're doing is they're creating a brewing industry that's going to be akin to Black Friday sales.
Yeah, it's already happened. It's already happened. But I'll tell you right now, I enjoyed the experience. I really did. Being in line, I shared a couple bottles with the guys in front of us. Met a couple, I guess I could call them friends, but acquaintances. It was enjoyable. And then getting into the brewery and having raspberry ice bock, the crazy price raspberry ice bock, which was one of the most amazing beers I've ever drank. It was fucking absolutely phenomenal, and I'm so happy that I actually did buy a bottle. I wouldn't say I would want another one just because it is expensive, but I'm glad I bought one. And then they had the blueberry on tap, which was almost equally as awesome. Then they had, here's the thing that's funny too, they have all these bottles, right? They had everything they had in the bottle was on tap. So if you didn't get a chance to get any bottles, go in there and get a fucking couple taps. Get all the taps. You can buy whatever.
Okay, we've had a few comments since I left. First and foremost is Dave Zodiac. Hi guys, thanks for the invite, Mr. Rhino. You're very welcome. Next from him again. One of these days I'll get my webcam set up and maybe I'll join y'all for one of these beer dweebs discussions. Granted, I'm welcomed, of course. If you haven't noticed, we welcome everybody. We even welcome people we don't particularly like. So we welcome everybody. You know what? We don't have to like you as a person as long as we have something in common. And beers are a thing in common most of the time, or movies, or this or that. So yeah, it's actually easy for most of us to make friends. Most of us. What else do we have here? Two other comments here. Beer Zerker, sorry, my invitation is all whack. Could I trouble you for another? Well, I'm getting drunk. I might be able to give you one. I don't know. And the last one is from Treecap. Any thoughts on the Rum Barrel Pumpkin? Joe, thanks for the detailed info on where to buy beer in Buffalo. Treecap, I've not had the Rum Barrel Pumpkin. I wish I could have it. I haven't been able to get it. I don't have a passport right now, so I can't cross the border. So no, I haven't had it. But Joe's probably had it by now.
I have not had it.
No, you have not had it?
No, I picked up a bottle. I haven't drank it yet. I've heard not the greatest things on it. I heard that they put it in 30-year-old Jamaican rum barrels, and I think it was for a year. But a lot of people are saying that they don't get a lot of the rum presence like in the actual beer. Like it's somewhat disappointing as far as
you know what I don't even know. Like I'd love to try it just because I love pumpkin and I love barrel aging and rum barrels are a great barrel, but I don't know if they would be the barrel that would lend the best to a pumpkin beer, especially a pumpkin pie beer, because you're adding new fruity elements and stuff that wouldn't normally be there, and then you're using 30-year-old rum barrels just to up the price, basically.
They doubled it. Fuck, went from $7.99 to $7.49, sometimes $6.49 if it's on sale, to $16 a bottle. It's crazy. As far as the detailed info, no problem, Treecalf. Like I said, those are my personal takes, so You might
Oh,
find
have you been to have you been there recently to the Premier Gourmet?
Yeah.
I keep getting
No,
harassed.
oh,
by my
recently?
buddies
No,
about
not
Bruins.
recently. No, I haven't been since you asked me. I still have to ask him about the Gruits. No, actually, I was there. I'm trying to think. Maybe shortly after. He wasn't in the last time I was there. I wasn't able to ask him. But next time, yeah, I got the Gruit question. If there's any that you could recommend to, or any period to buy here.
If they sell any, or this
Yeah.
guy's looking for Gruits everywhere, and you can only get like 3 of them in Canada, and 2 of them are here in Ontario, and they're not sold very widely.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple here or there, probably, maybe a Belgian one or maybe a fucking just another European country because they get random imports from everywhere there, so I'm sure you could find one. But I'd have to check. Nice. I do like that beer. It's funny, today at the Blue Monk, Chad, craft beer bar, for those of you who don't know, downtown Buffalo, they had the Bourbon County release today. They had Bourbon County, they had Bourbon County Coffee Stout, and the ever elusive in New York State Bourbon County Vanilla Rye. There was a lineup of 50 people. Yep, there was a line of 50 people at about. They opened at 11:30, and I think at like 10 o'clock, 9:30, there was 50 people in line.
9:30 or 10 is different than 5 a.m. though.
The 2 hours just to, but that's not bottles. That's to get pours.
No, I know, but we're talking about a place that opens at 11 a.m. getting a lineup at 9 instead of a place that opens at 11 a.m. getting a line at 5.
Yeah, but it's not bottles. It's pours and it's Buffalo. There people don't line up around here too often. Like even the Bourbon County bottles at Premier Gourmet, they had 100 people in line.
Were you there?
I came in on Black Friday about 10 o'clock because I wasn't gonna wait in line, and I wanted to just talk to Ethan just to see. I wanted to get the lowdown. Like I was like I wanna know what happened. So I got there, and he basically told me that when he got there at 9 a.m. there was like 125 people in line. He said 100, 125, and he said they were there since like 7 a.m. or some shit. I was like, oh.
And how many bottles did he get?
I don't know, but he didn't tell me. Well, I didn't ask him. I don't think it's any of my business, so I didn't ask him. But they sold out of 4-packs. They had 4-packs. Basically, you walked in, you got 4-pack of Bourbon County and one variant. You could choose between the coffee and the barley wine. The coffee sold out. They only got 1 case of that, I'm pretty sure, because it was gone. He said early. Then the barley wine. Then once they sold out the 4-packs of Bourbon County, they had the 2013 and 2014 barley wine on. You could get a growler of a 32-ounce growler, which I think halfway they ended up selling out of the Bourbon County. So I'd say they probably got 64-packs, maybe 50 to 64-packs.
Okay, we have 8 viewers. What do you guys think of the craziness that has become these lineups and these demands for these bottle releases?
Personally, I don't even know if I'd go for these special releases if it was the case. Because I mean, I went to Bellwoods at 10:45 in the morning to get Bring Out Your Dead, and there was 8 people in line. And frankly, if I had to wait 6 hours for Bring Out Your Dead, I just think I wouldn't buy it. Like I don't.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Bellwoods, being in Toronto and hipster central, right? That they haven't been that crazy yet with those.
It takes about a day and a half to sell out.
Yeah.
Well, they allow 8 bottles per person, so I mean, depending whether they decide to start upping or lowering the limits, but yeah, I mean, right now it's about a day and a half, but I'm sure in a couple of years it's probably going to be less, and that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is the thing, right? Canada is very behind the times compared to the U.S. in a lot of things. We just started getting lineups for Black Friday sales. We haven't started getting real big lineups for bottle releases yet. Bottle releases still, specialty bottle releases, especially at the right price, still sell out within the first day, maybe 2. But at the wrong price, they could stay for months. I mean, Whiny Bastard is an amazing beer from Nickelbrook, but at $18 a bottle, they still have Whiny Bastard from the first batch sitting at the brewery. Is it a really good beer? Yes, it's a really good beer. Do I hate paying $18 a bottle for it? You know what? I have 2 bottles left of it. I don't think I'd buy another. I bought 4. I got 1 for free to review. So, I mean, I paid, well, $72 for 4 bottles. Do I want to do that again? No. Once I'm out of my last 2 bottles, I probably won't again. But I mean, that's the only reason it's sitting there still is that $18 a bottle. Is it worth $18 a bottle? To me, yes, but on special occasions, basically. Because it's a big 750, it's 10% alcohol. You basically bought yourself a bottle of wine. You have to think of it that way.
Well, and that's the thing is, I don't think too many people would be too uptight about spending $20 on a bottle of wine. But when you hear the word beer, suddenly people think it's worth it. But Wine and Bass was definitely something you could share with 4 people and enjoy.
I think the biggest problem with buying beer at that price is there's so many beers that aren't all that great, and even like beer is one of those things that is a huge eye of the beholder type of beverage. There are some people that love a beer, some people that hate a beer. Where wine and everything else, usually you have a bigger grouping of people that love it versus hate it type of thing. But beer has a disparity that is just weird. It could be 50-50 on something, and then you see a huge price tag on one, and you're like, do I really want to pay that price on it when it could be great or it could be horrible for me? And I think that's the big problem with it. And once you open it, it's open. You have to drink it. It's not like a bottle of whiskey where you're like, oh, do I want to pay this $40 on this bottle of whiskey? Well, at least if I don't like it, I can put the cap back on it and somebody can drink it later on.
Yeah.
It's like a big publicity stunt. They're just hoping TV cameras will show up at those things. Oh, look at the lineup, when that first started happening. These people are camping outside in tents,
Well, unfortunately, I mean, I think, as far as Michigan goes, it's more into the scene that I am, but there are a shit ton of breweries that make good beer, shit ton of breweries that do bottle releases, and that's just kind of the culture in Michigan. Kunin's not the first, won't be the last. A week before that, Dark Horse from Michigan, they did their bourbon barrel aged Plead the Fifth release with rum barrel aged fucking 4 their winter warmer. People were lining up like 7:30 the night before in line. Because they've been doing releases like that a lot longer than a lot of the breweries. It's just kind of the culture in Michigan, and that's how it is. And that's why I get frustrated at people who whine like little bitches on social media, like they fucking post a Kunin, oh, blah, blah, blah. It's like, if you are aware of this bottle release at all, and you're interested in it, you have an idea of what it takes to get the beers. You pretty much do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on the Facebook. You wouldn't be privy to it. You wouldn't have it. Now, random people walking in, that's one thing. But people who have an understanding of the bottle releases, that's another. So for you to complain about not being able to walk in at 11 a.m. or walk in at half an hour before the release and get what you want, and it's a big fuck story for you, blah blah blah. You're one of those impatient people that want everything handed to you, and you just expect everything to be la-di-da. If you go to a grocery store and there's fucking 40 people, if there's 2 registers open and there's fucking 15 people in line at one, and you need groceries, you just fucking walk away and say, yeah, fuck it, I'm done. Like I'm cool. I just spent a half an hour fucking getting my groceries, but I can't be bothered. I mean, it might not be the greatest analogy, but it's kind of similar. It's like you pretty much know what to expect. There's no reason to why. Now, if you don't agree, or I shouldn't say agree, if you don't like the fact that you have to wait in that line for 5-6 hours, I agree. Like I would love to be able to walk into a bottle release and just buy whatever I want and not have to worry. But unfortunately, things dictate otherwise nowadays. Chad, you mentioned the Black Friday thing. Kind of going down that road, so it's either deal with it and adapt, or don't buy the fucking shit and just hope for that it fizzles out. It's one or the other. And unfortunately, for every person that says fuck it, there's going to be at least one person that says, you know what, I'm getting up at 4 a.m. And there's going to be another guy that says I'm getting up at 3 a.m. There's going to be another guy that says I'm getting up at 2 a.m. So on and so forth. That's just how it is nowadays with bottle releases. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, they can't be bothered with it. And to be honest with you, I enjoyed the experience. Would I do it again? Probably not. Not because I don't think I'm getting out of it what I want, because I clearly was able to get what I wanted, which was the beer. I had an enjoyable experience. I just don't know if, for me personally, like, I want to do that again. You know, it's a lot of money dropping, you know, $130 on a case of beer and driving to a different state and, you know, fucking making a weekend out of it. It's a lot of money for someone like me. If it was local, I'd probably do it again, but it isn't.
You know, I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying, but my thing about it is that the whole beer scene's evolving obviously a lot quicker in the U.S. than it is in Canada, but they got to improve their sales, their way of selling stuff. Like, you know, we have technology, we have cell phones, we have internet. There's got to be some way that makes more sense than to have 800 people in line by 11 a.m. waiting for this beer, all getting frostbite. Like, you know, have a lottery, have some sort of website you go. Like,
well, no, and that's what I was talking about, Greg. A lot of breweries will do that now. They'll sell tickets ahead of time, and they'll still make a festival. So people come and they still get all their fucking keg beers and all that. But the people that bought tickets have till this certain time to pick up their beer, and if they don't pick up their beer, then it goes for sale to the general public. That's what's happening a lot in the U.S.
Founders does it. Founders does it in the same state as Michigan. Founders does it. They allow you. But here's the thing that a lot of people get upset about, right? Founders does that. You know what Founders did? Founders cut the allotment of the amount of KBS you were allowed to buy. It used to be, I think, 2 cases or at least a case. Now it's 12 bottles. So you are guaranteed 12 bottles, but that's it. That's all you're guaranteed.
That's more than most people need.
Yeah, but like, that's the great thing, Chad, that you are correct. It is way more than anyone needs, right? 12 bottles of one specific beer. Do you need more than that in 1 year because they're going to release it again next year? You do if you're a fucking piece of shit mule that needs to fucking have 75 cases.
There are beers that I'd love to drink all year. I mean, let's be serious. There are beers that we can all drink all year. But there are so many beers out there now that you can find a beer just as good, if not better, period. So you love KBS, buy your 12 bottles of KBS, enjoy your 12 bottles of KBS. After that, buy something else or buy it from another spot because they sell to different bottle shops too.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
but people don't think like that. They're saying last year I got 24 bottles or I got 48 bottles and I get 12. Why? Because they made it easier for themselves.
I think to an extent, me and you both agree on a lot.
No, we all agree. I'm just saying.
I think it's stupid you have to get in line at 5 a.m. I think it's stupid that people are showing up at 3 p.m. and going, "Why the fuck are you sold out?" There was only 300 fucking 6-packs. That's going to sell out. But you shouldn't have to wake up at 3 a.m. to get in line at 5 a.m. to get your beer at 11 a.m. That shouldn't happen. But this is happening because we've created an industry of, oh my God, if I get this, people can't get it. And I can leverage these 6 bottles for this. Or I can leverage this bottle for this. And I can...
I will agree. The thing is that people are not like I am. Not saying I'm amazing. I'm above average. No. I am a guy that is different. All the bottles I buy are to either be enjoyed by myself or to share with my friends, not trade, not use for leverage, not sit on for a year and then are like, hey, you got any whales you want to trade? That shit is stupid. I get it because I like it. But I think at the end of the day, no matter what you think, I understand what you're saying, Greg, and I agree to an extent. Same thing with Chad. You're never going to make everybody happy. There is a way to make it easier on people, but in making it easier on people, you're also cutting a lot of their allotment. You're cutting, people aren't able to, bring extra mules or do this, do that. You're not going to make everyone happy, and that's the unfortunate thing about it. You're just not going to be able to make everyone happy. But I would love to be able to just stop, 9 a.m. on a specific day and buy a ticket that guarantees me X amount of beer. That would be preferable. You don't have to do anything other than fire up your laptop, your tablet, or whatever.
That would be the way I'd run it. I'd run it with a ticket system. You buy your ticket, you get this player. If you don't pick it up by 3 p.m., it's back to open sales. However, at the same time, everybody's welcome to come. I'm going to have food vendors. I'm going to have one-offs. I'm going to have this. I'm going to have that. And I even commented to somebody about that. There are different ways to do this. This is the way Kuhnheim or whatever the fuck it is wants to do it. Kuhnens, whatever.
Hooligans.
If they want to do it that way, that's the way they want to do it until the customer makes them change. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, what was it that Jay said? Jay from Indie Ale House said that the consumers own the LCBO. We're doing a horrible job as owners. Well, You know what? The consumers own the beer industry. If you don't like the way things are going, you're doing a horrible job as an owner. You can force changes, but you need everybody to be on board. That's the thing.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's going to take a long time for people to get on board with the bottle releases because there's this word. It's called greed, and unfortunately, the greedy ones are that are gonna.
Well, how many 6-packs did you buy?
I bought my allotment.
You bought all 4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what
I
are you
also
doing
think
with those?
with all these releases, they need to really clamp down on the limits. Like, no offense, Joe. Like, I would have bought my allotment too, but there's no reason anyone should need more than maybe 1, maybe 2 6-packs. Let's say 1 to drink fresh, 1 to age. There's no reason that anyone needs 4.
Yeah,
I would have bought it too, but still.
What am I going to do with them? Well, 2 of them I am keeping for myself. I mean, I put in the work, right? I did what I needed.
I'm not trying to be an ass either. I'm just asking.
I'm going to share the 12 other with a lot. I'm going to give some to DJ. I gave some to Johnny. I'll probably bring some to the fest. My thing is to share it with people. You guys know how I am.
I know,
to share
the way you are, and that's the only reason I ask. Like people are different.
That's what
people
I'm doing.
Different with the way they want to do it. I mean,
I'm probably going to drink. I'm probably going to drink 1 of each this year, and then age 1 of each, and maybe drink a couple years down the road. Probably bring maybe, we've already, some of us already had like the 4D and stuff, so I might bring some of the other ones.
The 4D, I really don't care about. I mean, I can get the 4D will probably hit Ontario again. I mean, 4D was the only beer I looked at and saw in the 6-pack that I'm going, well, you make that normally. Why is that in your 6-pack?
Well, the barrel aged 4D is the one I want to retry because you and I did the comparison and we did it at the end of the night. So I'd like to retry that one to see because a lot of people were crazy about it, and I thought it was really good. We both gave it a 9, but I would still like to see
if it's changed at all.
If it's changed, or maybe just to see if it really stands up.
We've gone over this extensively. Barrel aging is a weird thing where some years it could be great, some years it could not be great.
It could be.
And I mean, it all matters on the barrel. It matters on how long you've left it in the barrel, how many times the barrel's been washed. There's so many variables with barrel aging.
Yeah, we have a couple more comments from Rikus. He says, reminds me of the craze over Pliny the Elder here on the West Coast. I refuse to wait in line for anything. Like this burger place in town, they only buy so much meat, and once they sell out, they sell out. I saw them close at 7 p.m. on Friday night because they sold out, and I refuse to play that game. And then he says he thinks the main argument against the so-called scarce products is all the lying about how many are available, and the people at the inside source getting a bottle or many bottles without waiting because they know someone rather than having to wait in line like everyone else. Well, I would agree with that last one for sure. I mean, from what I saw, and like I said, I can't see everything going on, but it seemed like it was pretty legit. But you never know.
Yeah, well, with that brewery, at least it is a smaller brewery. Their size is not great.
No, it's not.
But there are a lot of breweries that like Ryan said, a lot of the scarcity of the beers is not as scarce as it really is. I mean, you see it all over the place. You can see it even with some Ontario breweries do it now. I mean, they'll be like, "This is all we have." But they're saying this is all we have because they're trying to get you out to the brewery to buy it, but then they have an entire allotment that's going to the LCBO. It's not going to be announced until the LCBO's aging program of neglect is done, and they tell you, oh yeah, we have this.
Well, it's funny you say that. Yeah, I talk about Resurgence, and I do love them, and they have a lot of good beer. And I went to their bottle release for the Imperial Sponge Candy Stout. I got there at 11:30. This was 2 weeks before I went to Koonin. Got there at 11:30. They opened up at 12, but they allowed you in at 11:30. 30th person in line. It took me 40 minutes from when I got there to when I actually got my bottles. They said they had 4,000 bottles available. By about 3 p.m., they had 1,500 left, and they still had some left the next day. I don't regret going to it because it was the first ever bottle release in Buffalo, and it was cool to experience that, and I wanted to support them and stuff. But they sold out of bottles. You know what they ended up doing? Bottling some more. They bottled some more the following week, and it was just like, Well, why even say you have 4,000 bottles left? Like, why don't you say something like, we have 4,000 bottles, but if need be, we can bottle more. Or, something like that. Like, why just throw the perception out there that you have 4,000 bottles and that's it? When they're gone, they're gone. No, you have the ability to bottle more? Well, you should have probably told someone so they don't run out.
As long as they have kegs, they have the ability to bottle more. I mean, bottling off of a keg isn't going to last as long, but as long as you have kegs of the beer, you can bottle as long as you fucking want to bottle. I mean, that's just the way it is. And that's what Railway City did at first. Railway City used to keg first, and then they bottle off of their kegs. So as they sold out of the bottles, they just bottle.
Yeah, that's pretty.
It's what a lot of breweries do. I mean, Five Paddles at first they bottled off a keg because they were so small that they couldn't run a tank right to the bottling machine, so they'd run a keg to the bottling machine. Big Rock never did that, though.
Oh, Big Rock's fucking fantastic.
What didn't they do? They probably did it to perfection.
I don't think anyone's lining up for...
you name it, they did it.
Did you wait 6 hours in line for a Big Rock product?
There was a Grand Cru release.
That'd be funny if they did that.
Can you still get Grand Cru from Big Rock? I'm kind of curious.
That actually existed?
Grand Cru.
Yeah, they released a Grand Cru in December.
This December.
Yeah, I've seen it actually. Seems familiar. Came in a Magnum, maybe.
Magnum, big 40.
You were interested in that, Chad?
I'm interested in it because it's actually a specialty brew from them. I'm curious if they can actually do a specialty brew properly.
Hey, they did 3 barrel-aged beers that came in a wood box this Christmas.
Did they send it to you for free?
No, they hate me now. Probably because of your comments, Joe.
I don't say it. I love Big Rock. One of my favorites.
Paul would leave some good comments, and then I would just agree with them, and then they probably read those, and we're like, what a piece of shit this guy is.
Yeah, why are we sending this guy free beer when he hates it all? Because he's being
And then they come out with
shit
barrel-aged shit. I'm like, fuck.
You could go and buy it. That could be an option for
dude,
you.
it was expensive.
He said it was expensive. Doesn't matter, Brad. You should support them. They're great.
You don't barrel age just to barrel age. They should barrel age their line beer.
It's probably the grasshopper aging cognac barrels.
The grasshopper, the Saws Pills, and the Big Rock Lime all in barrel.
Oh, that grasshopper is fucking terrible.
Oh my god.
You throw a lemon wedge in there, that's heaven.
Yeah,
That's standard. If you get it here, you're gonna get a lemon wedge in it.
Yeah, how about if you wanted an orange wedge? What would happen?
Orange.
Smash it in space for itself.
This actually came in the December edition of the beer box. This was the one beer in the December edition of the beer box that the brew box, that I had. The problem with this beer is this came out in fucking September. So Block 3 obviously just had a bunch of them left, and they're like, hey, you want some dead now? It's a great beer, it really is, but this really should have been rum barrel-aged, because it tastes like raisins so much that it's not funny. So rum barrel-aging would have been awesome.
Speaking of Imperial Stouts, Brad, I saw you got the Abyss, right? You picked it up in Arizona?
No, my brother got it in some, Lucky Food Mart in Montana.
Well, I was just gonna say, I drive through Cleveland on the way home, and I start stopping at this place, and they have cases of it just sitting out for $14.99.
Shut up! It's so
I'm like,
good,
are
dude.
you fucking? I'm like, why? Where are all these people lining up for 6 hours to get this beer? Where is this happening? Nope,
Yeah.
just out.
Pieces of it for $14.99?
No,
For a 12-pack?
no, the Abyss.
Bottle.
22-ounce barrel-aged beer for $14.99 in the States, when most places will mark it up to close to 20, at least where I live. Sitting there, readily available, no limits, and I'm just
Ethan, am I doing a problem because I'm drinking a Belgian double in the IPA glass?
yeah, then you just ruined the beer. You should fucking pour it down your drain in the pit.
Ruined.
Fuck that beer up.
Don't you know how to drink? Proper glassware. Come on, Chad. It should have the Block 3 logo on it. Otherwise, it's not proper glassware. Shout out there.
I actually do have some Block 3 glassware. They're both tulip
I know.
glasses.
I've drank out of it before. You should have put.
I know you have.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You're fucking it up.
I am fucking it up.
So how many bottles did you buy, Joe? Just the one?
Well, of Abyss, yeah, I bought one.
Yeah. Don't worry, Brad. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Brad, are you coming in May, Brad? Take some time off work and come to Ontario, Brad. You can stay here. It saves you some money.
I would think it could be a possibility this year. That's for sure.
I don't know, Brad. Brad, you can't wear medium shirts in our presence, though. That's not happening.
Yeah, Joe and Guy both might double team you.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely just go to town on you, regardless of Guy's situation.
Don't worry.
What do you mean you're going to go to town on me, Joe? That could be missing.
Average dad has to be here, though, to hold Joe's hair.
Yeah, I might be
My
puking on your
sexy
back.
tight shirt, you're just going to go to town on me. I don't know.
Hey, I thought these were supposed to be 473 milliliter glasses, because this is a 500 milliliter beer plus some head, and it all fits.
You ruined it already. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point.
Is it laser etched on the bottom of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Because I have one that's
If you
not
don't
the
pour it-
Sierra Nevada, and it's not etched. So
All
If
Sam
you don't
Adams
pour it
glasses
super
are all
slow-
that like sexy dad.
If you don't
ribbed.
pour it super
Not
slow,
etched.
you get like this much head. It's fucking stupid. And it's because it's the same thing as a beer boot. It's not made to actually have beer poured into it. I mean, they want you to pour beer into it, but it's not made to have beer poured into it.
Here's a question for you guys, since Dot just pointed out. Favorite Sam Adams beer?
Favorite Sam Adams beer? Utopia.
Non-Utopia. I should have made that.
Non-Utopia? You didn't make that a fucking...
No, but I did now. Thank you for pointing it out. I knew you. I honestly, to be honest with you, Chad, I didn't make that a point because I forgot that you drank it. And I forgot that I drank it, and I forgot all about the beer. Even though it's like the best beer I've ever had. 3 times.
Every beer I've had from the what is it, 13th Hour beers.
You like those?
Yeah, I really like the New World. What else did I have from that line? I had like 3 beers from that line. I can't remember them all, but I remember they were all good. It's one of those weird things where usually I can remember every beer I've ever drank, but these ones I can't. And the Tasman Red is actually really good too. Their big bottle series is actually their best series of beers. Everything else just meh.
Well, because they're more like exciting releases like you look for, whereas the other ones are more sort of mass
The
market.
Fat Jack that came to Ontario fucking sucked.
I didn't
There
mind
was
that.
a
It was amazing, but I thought it was alright.
there's a weird summer Weiss one I got from friends of mine. They got it from Halifax. The fuck was the name of that thing? They all loved it. They said it was the best thing they ever put in their face. Can't remember what it was called though. Sam Adams, summer, something like that.
summer wheat lager.
No.
That's what I saw. I don't get much Sam Adams here. Boston lager.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't tried too much Sam Adams either. I've tried most of the big bottle barrel aged ones. They're all pretty decent. And of the regular ones, I think the Latitude IPA I like, whatever that one was. That was pretty tasty from what I remember. By the way,
Latitude 48.
I've only drank maybe 5 different Sam Adams beers.
Really?
Yeah, I never had Utopia. Like I always said, it was about
Yeah.
when they broke it. Yay.
Yes, they did.
I still the free glass they gave me with it though.
Well, that's something.
Yeah.
I've only tried 3. We had a winter one, and I think we're talking about the same on the summer wheat. I think my favorite was the Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest was pretty good.
Hey, won our blind taste testing when Paul and I did it, so I can't complain.
That was the first place winner. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, that was the first place winner. Stupid pallets all around. It was unbelievable.
I
Stupid
watched
pals,
that, but I
right?
don't remember you picking that.
Yeah, dude, it looked the most like a Martzen should. It actually had flavor, whereas the other ones were very bland and grainy. And when his wife was like, Sam Adams, we were like, you fucking what? You just ruined Paul's credibility, which he didn't have any to begin with. But the fuck.
You know, I've been trolling Paul in almost every review I've done for the last 3 weeks. None of them have been posted yet, but in almost every review I've done, I've said, in the immortal words of my buddy Paul from PA Brew News, it's a little thin. It's just happened. I mean, really, they're all styles that shouldn't be as thin as they are, so it's funny that it's happened.
Yeah.
It's a little thin.
Have any of you guys had the Sam Adams cream stout?
No, actually, I've been told to try that over and over again.
That's probably my favorite of the regular. It is really good cream stout. Really good.
I did have that last year, Joe.
You had the cream stout?
I had it last year. A buddy of mine brought it up.
What did you think of it? Do you remember?
They brought it up for my birthday, so I don't really remember what it tastes like, but it tastes pretty good.
It is a good one. I mean, I've had like 25 to 30 different Sam Adams brews just because them and Saranac were the first two breweries I got into because
I'm pretty fair with Sam Adams. I like a lot of their stuff, what it does, but
I don't discriminate against Sam Adams. A lot of people do just because of their size, but
yeah, me neither. I do like them.
Yeah, they make some good stuff. People need to understand, like, a lot of their regular stuff is going to be geared towards people that are trying to get into craft beer now. A lot of their stuff is more mild, and it's not going to be crazy, robust, or bold flavors. They're just going to be solid examples.
What's the same as Moosehead is trying to do here in town.
Yeah?
Moosehead is throwing a lot of good stuff at us, Joe.
That's the opposite of Saranac.
That's the opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite of Saranac. I wish some of those breweries that are just kind of there, and then they need to do more creative things with a lot of their
Moosehead is doing some really good stuff here.
Well, I look forward to trying it in about 2019, Don, when they actually are available.
You better push it up about 30 years, maybe.
Maybe before I die, I'll get to try it.
I'm looking to try it when Dawn doesn't have a hair nail or a cough, and he can come out.
Oh boy.
You know, Dawn, that no matter how long we interact and no matter how long we're friends, every single chance we get, we're going to bring up your cough.
More or less in every single review you do at Chad's, it's going to be, there's going to be three things happening. I'm going to get someone's holding my hair because I'm vomiting. It's going to be Paul a little bit thin. It's going to be Brad wearing medium shirts and flexing. It's going to be Don having a cold. It's going to be fucking Greg loving everything from fucking Black Oak and Bellwoods. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
When I land up there, I'm wearing a Speedo and pants. I'm not fucking around.
You know what? We'll do another video just for the tasting niche where we're all in Speedos.
Yeah, I'm going to also be absent of that one again.
No, you won't.
Did she ever watch that? Did she ever watch that?
Oh, she watched it.
No, she didn't.
No,
she responded?
No,
what she say?
She sent me a message. She said, "You're all sick fucks and awesome at the same time."
That sounds good.
Sounds about right.
Anyways, guys, I gotta head out. If you're still up in another hour when I get home, well, maybe I'll come back. But if not, have yourselves a good night.
Okay, Greg, you have a wonderful night, and hopefully I see you when you get back. I'm going to try and take a picture of one of these beers I drank tonight.
Take it easy, Greg. See ya.
Cheers.
I've had my untapped crash on it 3 times so far.
I'm drinking a Bang and Milk Stout from Swift Current, Saskatchewan.
I had a milk stout this week from Church Key, and the only thing I can say it was better than is the Bose Tom Green milk stout. Only milk stout I've had.
I could fucking take a shit in that glass and be better than that beer. All right.
Wow, was that good?
Yeah, no, it was okay. It was just it wasn't great. Let me ask you guys a question. I asked Chad, but Parallel 49. Any opinions on that?
I've never really loved a Parallel 49.
Yeah, I haven't had a great beer from them. Well, Hopperazzi was decent. But
Oh, they've all been decent, but none of them have been good.
I don't know. Some of them, like Seed Spitter, was. Oh.
I saw the review on that one. Yeah. I won't buy that one, no.
Because they have showed up here, and
It's got like the light cough syrup taste or something. That was all.
Hold the phone. The Robo Ruby Imperial Red IPA. Try that one if they got that. That's good.
let me actually see what they got, because we're right. We got like all Central City shit. Like the Red Racer, the Imperial Red Racer, the Session one, the fucking their wit beer, all kinds of weird shit coming in.
Session ones were terrible for me. Red Racer, terrible.
You didn't like it? I didn't pick it up because it was just kind of like 3 years old.
Imperial was decent. Imperial IPA was decent.
Mediocre.
Here's what we got. We got the salty Scotch Ale from Parallel 49.
I didn't try it.
That's not bad.
The Lost Souls Chocolate Pumpkin Porter.
I didn't care for it.
I like how Brad's all quiet. Hope they still send me free beer. I fucking hated it.
Parallel 49, no.
Snap Crackle Hop Imperial Weiss IPA.
Didn't try it. I heard it was good though. I heard it was good.
And Vow of Silence Belgian Ale. Those are the 4 that came in.
When do you think I'm going to hit the Uber rating on Untapped, the 5,000 check-ins?
Jeez.
I don't know.
I just hit 2536 like 2 seconds ago.
Well, probably in another 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I don't know. The rate you drink beer to, who knows?
2,000. Jesus.
We also got I mentioned before the House Sound Brewing. We got the Mega Destroyer.
It's good.
And
Be right back, guys.
Is that the licorice one?
Yeah.
I
Make your own
don't
licorice
like
stout?
black licorice whatsoever. I don't think I'd
Okay,
like that.
Then you would not, I'd
But
imagine.
their Imperial Stout was really good. The pothole filler.
Yeah, I have
good.
their Imperial Pumpkin Ale from last year, still aging. That should be interesting.
Just don't do the nut rail ale nut brown is gross from them.
Is it? The
Yeah.
other two. We got the Mega Destroyer, the Wee Beastie Oak Age Scotch Ale.
I don't think I've seen that here.
Really?
Well, somebody got to bring from the Brunswick here next year for the beer fest. Northern New Brunswick, called, I can't remember what they're called. It's a nut brown ale. My fuck, guys, you gotta try it. I'm gonna bring probably 8 beers.
Yeah, a lot of people are going to bring a lot of beers in there. I brought 12 last year, and we drank 4 of mine because fucking everyone else is almost so much beer. If there's more people this year, though, more beer would equal. There should be none left. Who knows, though?
And I think I'm gonna talk to a friend of mine here. He runs a brewery here in about 25 miles away. See what I can do. Maybe a little keg or something. Bring it in.
Nice.
Yeah, Don, you were talking about the guy who did the brewery in the basement. I was wondering if Brad knows that Tool Shed brewery out of Calgary. That really started in a tool shed.
Yeah, that's what it says on the cans anyway.
Yeah, I saw videos on it. I just wondered if he'd upgraded yet, or that shit. I like that beer.
Oh, where were they doing their beer out of Dead Frog in BC?
Oh, Dead Frog. Yeah.
I don't know how that worked, but I think they got, where the hell are they now? Somewhere downtown in Calgary, they finally got a brewery.
Okay.
I don't remember where the hell it was. Hear things and forget them. Yeah, they're decent beer though.
It's positive information. Gonna start a brewery in my shed now.
Can't wait. I can't wait for the shed-aged Imperial Stout. Get on it.
If people be lining up my shed at 7 in the morning.
I'll be there at 5:15. Shop, son. I'll be there ASAP.
I'm ready to get some sink-aged Imperial Stew.
Imperial Stew.
Bathtub brown ale.
Oh, I wanted to mention to you, Brad, the Neapolitan milk stout.
Yeah.
You gave me a barrel aged version of that. Now,
I've seen they do one. Yeah.
what do you think's gonna happen with that? Because like it's pretty sweet as is, considering what it's supposed to be.
Well, it depends on the barrel. I think will be your.
Yeah.
Like you say, certain beers can be. They say aged for a year and go. Well, I didn't really taste any bourbon, but if it's a wet barrel, it could be over bourbon.
Yeah, because I mean that beer's what 6%. I think the barrel age is like 6.8, so it didn't seem to take a shit ton. But
Yeah,
it's
it'll be like
6%
that
fucking
Apple
stout.
Valley one.
Well, that thing was fucking like it was very thin, and I'm not gonna shout out.
It's gonna be too thin.
Yeah, it was crazy thin that beer.
That was a pretty good beer though.
I enjoyed the taste, but like the mouthfeel and just the body was just. Oh.
I'm talking about that Neapolitan.
Oh, that was I told you that was one of my bucket beers, if such things exist. Like when I first got into craft, I remember, being a novice and not knowing anything. I still don't know anything, but oblivious to everything that is going on, and I just came upon it like on a beer advocate search, and I was like, Neapolitan milk stout. Holy shit, that sounds amazing.
I was wondering how that was on your bucket list.
Yeah, dude, it just sounded amazing, and for the longest time, like if I took on a road trip or vacation or anything, I'd be like, oh, where can I get it? And little did I know they didn't distribute outside of Michigan. Well, I ended up in Michigan as it got released because it's a winter seasonal, and I saw it and I was like, fucking right, boys, I'm getting it. And it was good. It was exactly what it said it was supposed to be.
So of course it's going to show up in Calgary. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, how the fuck do you get in Calgary? Like they didn't distribute, I don't think, outside of Michigan, other than maybe like slightly into Chicago area, shit like that. But in Illinois, it was just like, how the fuck did you get in Western Canada? That's what I was.
Because Calgary's amazing.
Apparently so.
My beer guy, he's like, yeah, it's Alberta's just a freak. I don't even know how we get some of this shit. We got that last Enjoy by Stone. I was surprised.
Yeah, dude, we didn't even get it in bottles here. We only got it on
serious?
Yeah.
Really? Showed up late,
in their ear.
But it sold out so fast. Fuck. It was good. I bought 4 bottles.
Hey, that's stupid.
So is Willow Park in Calgary? Is that the best outlet to get craft beer?
No, but it's a good place. Certain co-op in Kensington is really good. Or Kensington Wine Market and Zinn is worth hitting. I hit a few places.
Yeah, Brad's not going to tell you the sweet spots, all right?
Just all the sweet spots. That's all
He's not giving up his fucking honey hole, bro. He's going to be like,
Zinn, Willow Park, Kensington Co-op, Kensington Wine Market.
He's sending you to the fucking the wrong side of Calgary to go to shitty places that don't.
All they have is pallets of Coors Light and Coke.
Yeah. And random
You're gonna
fucking
definitely get jacked when you go in there.
a random 750 with a Cantillon in the corner somewhere. Just show up randomly.
Liquor Connect is if you've ever used that website.
Okay. No.
he's like, oh, that's one more place.
Liquor Connect.
I'm writing all this
for
down.
Alberta, and then you can search beers, and it kind of shows you anywhere in your city that's got it or that ordered it.
So,
it's not 100% accurate, but it's pretty damn good.
What are you guys getting stone-wise out there?
Right now, like the Arrogant Bastard, we just got Double Bastard. What else did we get? That's Rocket.
Lucky Bastard, Calgary Bastard, fuck you bastard.
Go-to IPA, Belgian IPA.
Really?
Is that the Bally Calgy or whatever?
Yeah.
Kelly
I
Bell,
don't care for Belgian IPAs, but
because you're a hater, Brad.
no, I just don't like the yeast with the hops.
Did you get the you didn't get this, right? The Bastard box?
No, not yet. I'm hoping to get it.
It was only $20, so if it does show up, I'd be curious what it is.
If it shows up, we got that 12-pack of IPAs. Guess how much that cost?
12-pack of IPA of the Stone.
The mix pack with Sublimely
and those are all. Were those all 12-ounce bottles or?
Yeah, 12 ounce, just regular.
I'm gonna say probably like $30. 36.
That's pretty close. It was $42.
Jesus
For
Christ.
tax. So I was like, I would never fucking buy that.
Yeah, I think that's like $20 here. Maybe 22.
Yeah, it's not.
That's stupid. No,
if they were bombers, yeah, I'd be like, okay, makes sense.
Well, apparently, they are putting, because this box, the whole point of it was you got Arrogant Bastard, Double Bastard, Lucky Bastard, and then Barrel Aged Arrogant Bastard. But they're making 6-packs in 355s. I gotta convert it to milliliters because everyone here's fucking Canadian but me. The Bourbon Barrel Aged Arrogant Bastard they're throwing in 6-packs, which is interesting. You don't see too many fucking Bourbon Barrel anything in 4s or in 6-packs like year round. They're gonna make it.
Oh, that's gonna be year round, really?
I haven't had it. That's the only beer out of the box that I didn't drink just because I'm like, I could sit on it for a while. But apparently they only barrel aged it for like three months.
Yeah, I heard there's not a lot of bourbon present.
Is that what you heard? Is that what you heard? I think those fucking people are wrong.
Might have been Maury. Here, you better beer bureau. Take your beef up with him. That's what I heard.
Everybody's palate is different. Most people's are stupid.
Right.
What other? You guys got any other American breweries coming in other than the Stone? I'm sure.
The Deschutes.
Yeah.
Their anniversary ale showed up.
Elysian.
$25 a bottle.
Did the Black Butte anniversary? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, that was $25 a bottle.
That was $14.99 at that store that had all the events. Oh my god!
Total Wine had that just like a shelf full for $14, and no one's gonna buy it.
Yeah, isn't that I get upset. Like I cannot, number one, drink that much fucking, but I would like seriously consider buying a case, but it's like I can't. I just want a bottle. But for fucking $14-15, it's like that's, from what I hear, a fucking awesome beer, and it's just sitting there.
I would buy a few bottles for sure. This was so good.
Mirror? Did that show up? Mirror, the barley wine?
No.
And no Abyss, obviously, right?
Apparently, there's a chance it might come here, but.
Look at you in the know. That's what I'm telling you. You better befriend him, Berserker. He knows all the honey holes. He knows
the
all
anniversary ale sold out at $25 a bottle. Like,
of course it did.
I'm like, his buddy's like, we got it, but it's sold out right away. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Hey, like we had the discussion earlier about fucking people waiting outside. I mean, that's just how shit is. People are out of hand now. It's stupid. It really is ridiculous. I lucked into
market's such a honey hole. They're crazy not to ship a few cases here when they can almost double the price. Right?
Like that fucking dude that fucking drove from Texas to your neck of the woods to get all the loons.
And there's no limits. That's the other problem.
Yeah, like that guy fucking drove probably like 12 hours or fucking 16 hours, whatever the insane amount it was, to go fucking get cantiloonies in your fucking neck of the woods, and probably got.
I had my chance. My wallet's not that deep, bro.
Yeah, that's.
You buy 5 bottles, and that's almost $200. So.
Yeah, it's like get the fuck out of town.
I think a few breweries are dropping shit off here on their way to Alaska too.
Really?
If you look at the Deschutes website, it shows the states and provinces, and they deliver to Alaska, not so much to eastern states, but they must truck it up through here and just drop a shitload off on the way. That's my theory. Might not be true. I don't know.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know. Thing is that there's so much fucking beer available everywhere. It's just shit just randomly shows up all over. I can't
there's a lot of shit.
Yeah, I mean there is like it's just I don't know. Like
then you got imports.
Oh yeah, the imports just I don't know. I think here though there's so many imports that I don't even look at them. Like I go buy the Belgian aisle. I'm just like I'm good. I can try these, but I don't want to.
The Belgian aisle.
Yeah, the Belgian aisle.
Fucking Total Wine. God damn.
Beer from Switzerland is really good. The ones I've had from Switzerland, they're really good.
Really?
Yeah, they're
Is that
amazing.
like Cape Wired? Or no, they're from New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Bad Attitude 2-penny porter was insane. And then their Choice Dames is really good too. Both out of Switzerland. Not a bad price either.
Have any of you guys ever had a Scotch de Silly from Belgium?
No.
No. Yeah, how about you, Chad? Scotch de Silly? Scotch ale, Belgium?
No.
It's apparently a pretty solid Scotch ale, but like all of a sudden we just randomly got 3 different barrel age versions of them, like in the store, and I just walked by them. It's like cognac barrel age, brandy barrel age, the fucking just another random barrel age, and it's just like I don't know. The Belgians for me are not. I'm kind of like you, Brad. I mean, I do like quads quite a bit, but I don't know. Even the Scotch ale just from Belgium.
One of my favorites then would be a quad, but lately.
I like about. There's a lot of Belgian beer I can't get into.
No.
A lot of them I like, but there's a lot that, there's too much in the yeast and too carbonated and shit sometimes, and they're still good, but they're not my favorites.
I just can't get into them.
What's that?
So there's a lot of Belgians I like too. I just can't get into them no matter how hard I try. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, now you're drunk to the point where you're gonna start making rude comments, Chad. You're lucky this isn't your show. Well, it is your show. What the fuck? Got 2 comments. Whiskey Pete said, sorry I couldn't join you earlier. He had an unexpected power outage and his phone wasn't charged. He will watch the remainder of the show and will watch the other part after the show is over. That's cool, Whiskey Pete. And Rikus says, Moosehead is throwing that green bottle stuff at us. I like it's usually decently priced, what I say.
I drank Moosehead years and years ago. Sometimes it'd be really good, sometimes it'd be skunky.
Well, it's green bottled, right? So it all matters how they took care of it. I mean, Moosehead isn't a bad adjunct lager. I mean, if you like adjunct lagers, it's a good choice. And if you're Canadian, you're keeping your money in Canada. That's the greatest part about it. But if you don't like adjunct lagers, it's not going to be a beer you like.
No.
I've never had it.
I used to love adjunct lagers. And then I bought Sam Adams Boston Lager, trying a new lager. I was like, wow, this is too flavorful. It's like so malty, I can't do it.
There's so much shit happening, I can't wrap my head around it.
I need a Moosehead to wash it down, it's so thick. Hey, we all start somewhere. Or maybe we don't.
Well, how did everyone start getting into craft beer? Like I mentioned, I went basically Saranac mix packs and Sam Adams mix packs, and I went through probably like 20, 25 different beers of each, and because they're relatively cheap, and the mix packs, you get to try 6 different beers. You get 2 of each, and it was acclimate my palate to certain styles, try to understand what I was tasting and whatnot, and it was easier to go that way, and those kind of led to a different path, but that's pretty much how I got into it. Would you guys start with craft-wise? I know.
Well, here's the problem with Ontario. The LCBO, which is the Liquor Control Board of Ontario, had a moniker which was the Lager Control Board of Ontario for a long time. Until about 2004, 2005, all you could find was lagers in the LCBO. If you weren't buying Bud and Coors and stuff like that, you were buying Holsten or Tuborg or Pilsner or Cal or stuff like that. That was your choices. And then in about 2004, 2005, you started to see stouts and ales and everything else show up from craft breweries. So for me, I started with Old Vienna. Old Vienna was my first beer that I really drank on the regular, and then Molson Export, and then from those 2, it was Holsten Premium and Tuborg Gold. And from that, it was Innocent Gun. Innocent Gun was the first one that made me go, oh my god, there's a different taste out there. So, I mean, that's why I love them. That's why I am such a supporter of them, because they opened my mind to what was out there, because it wasn't available to me until then.
Yeah, Innocent Gun was one of the first real beers that I remember drinking.
Jameson Gun and Guinness. Those were the two first real beers I was into.
Yeah, Guinness and then Caffrey's and Boddington and Kilkenny. I loved those nitrogen beers. I drank a ton of those for a while.
Yeah, about the same.
Yeah. I started with Hobgoblin and
Hobgoblin was a good one too, way back then.
and Double Diamond. I think it was Double Diamond. My wife had on tap at an Irish bar. It was pretty fantastic. And the other one was where's the other one? Another weird something from Guinness, something like that. So can't remember what it was, but yeah, I think Double Diamond started it. That was years ago, many years ago.
Yeah, I forgot. Anchor Porter was probably the first beer that blew me away.
Oh, yeah, a lot of Anchor beers. Forgot about them.
Yeah, fucking. I remember.
That have been so long.
Same here. Well, I had the maple. I think last not this past fall, but the fall before. That was probably the last one I had. But I remember Anchor drinking and being like, "Oh my God, there's chocolate and toffee and caramel and what is happening? Like, this isn't a beer? What the fuck? Like, no, this is. I like it. I like it a lot." It was one of those beers that was just like kind of eye-opening. Be like, is there more like this? What the fuck's a porter? All right, let me go see. It was pretty much over at that point, right? I mean, you start dipping in. Then it was like I got the Fuller's London Porter. And I was like, oh, shit, this is really good too. What? Oh my God, I like porters. And then I ran into a couple porters that were terrible. I was like, maybe I don't like porters. I don't know. Maybe I like certain porters. Then I realized there's English and American porters, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
I mean, I always had Guinness before. I mean, everybody's, before you get into craft beer, Guinness was always there, right?
Oh,
You're like, yeah, they're like, yeah, that's okay. But, it was kind of one of those things, Guinness, like, yeah, I don't like that, but maybe I do.
Yeah. It was one of those things that I didn't even like drink normal beer before I got craft beer, but I've had Guinness before, and I remember back in the day when I actually drank Guinness, I'd be like, "Oh, this is too heavy. This is too flavorful. Ooh, I don't know. Like, this is
same thing, Joe. This is the same thing.
Yeah, get the fuck away and put that.
Yeah,
Wait, is that chocolate? I don't know. Fuck it. Like I don't. And then now I drink it. I'm like, that's cool water. I'm a big fan.
Yes, that schooner. Like, yes, maybe we'll back to schooner, the old lager. The old schooner.
You still hear that all the time. People say that I don't like dark beer. Well, you're going. What do you mean? Well, I don't like Guinness.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, jeez.
It's cool that there's so many readily available styles now because you can take people who will swear like I do not like beer, and they'll be like, "What do you mean? I don't like beer. I don't like the taste." And you like pop out like a sour or some like barrel aged beer. And you give it to them, they're like, holy shit, that's awesome. And it's like, that's beer. What? Yeah, that's beer. Like, that's actual beer. Like, that's just a different style of beer. Really? I didn't know it could taste like this. Well, now you do. Like,
exactly.
You have an understanding.
Well, once a week I get a ride home from my buddy Steve at work. And if there's three of us to get a ride home. It's me, Steve, and another quarter. And we all come into the house when he drops me off, and we come downstairs, and we share 2 or 3 beers, and both of them are like, oh my God, I didn't know beer could taste like this. Because they're both Coors Light and Moosehead drinkers and stuff like that, and I'm like, yeah, this is beer, guys, this is beer. Oh my God. And I've converted them both. I mean, they're like Lachlan, the Reverend. They'll still drink that stuff when they're out of the bar, and they have no choice. But at home, they don't buy it anymore.
Well, it's. I think I mentioned this last time, BD, but I went to a Sabres game a few weeks back and went to a bar. Bourbon County was on tap. I got the 13 to 14. My cousin, who all he drinks is Labatt Blue or Labatt Blue Light, which is fine, whatever. That's what he ordered there. And his other buddy ordered Hoegaarden. And we're all sitting there, and they're laughing at me because I fucking like the flight. I guess you'd want to call it. Not really. It's just like a comparison, right? 13 and 14. They're like 5.5 ounce pours, and it was like whatever, $10 or some shit, right? And I was like, "You want to try it?" And he's like, "Okay, yeah, I'll take a sip." He takes a sip, and he looks at me. He goes, "Wow, that's pretty good." And then he goes and takes another sip, and I'm about to fucking punch him in his nuts because I'm like, I got 5.5 ounces of that shit. Like, you better slow down, buddy. So he takes another sip, and he looks at me and goes, "Actually, that's amazing." And I just grabbed the fucking thing out of his hand and put it down because I'm like, you want one, you order one. Like, but he likes whiskey, he likes bourbon, he likes scotch. It's bad. And I'm just like, well, if you like that type of stuff, you'd love barrel aged stuff because that's what it is. It's like, that stuff mixed in with chocolate and coffee and stuff. And, it was kind of eye-opening to him. And he was just like, wow, I can't believe that. It was pretty cool.
We're right here in like Southern Brunswick, we're actually running out of macro beer here. Everything's coming for the good stuff. There's nothing, not even Moosehead and all that stuff's almost gone now. And everything we get is like more picaroons and Pump House and all that stuff. That's what we're getting now. Because everything else is running out. There's nothing left.
Wow.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like if people just open their eyes or are willing to try different things, you'll be surprised at what you like, and it goes further than beer. Food is another thing where people are like, I don't like that or I don't like that, and then you present it in a different way and they're like, well, maybe I actually do like that. But some people are just like, no, I drink this brand, that's what I drink, and that's what I'm gonna drink. But if you're open-minded, you'll get surprised in the wonderful world of craft beer.
I'm gonna try and bring up for the beer festival something from Hammer River Brewing here. That's fuck, guys. You gotta try it.
You're hyping them up too much now, Don. You're hyping them up too much.
Oh, dude, you have no idea. No idea how good it is. It's a little tiny place in his basement. What he does, that's all he does is work every day, and just puts his little kegs out everywhere. It's amazing.
Sounds awesome.
Some of those places are awesome. We have a nano brewery here, Community Beer Works. Chad actually just had a couple of their beers about a month ago or so, and they only are available on draft around the area. They don't bottle anything. You can get like pints or growlers at their place, and they probably at this point make the best beer in Buffalo. But nobody can get bottles of them because they don't bottle, and you have to be around here or have someone send you a growler, otherwise you don't know about them. But they make some amazing stuff.
Well, that's all he's got there. A friend of ours, Hammer River. No bottle, little tiny house, little keg, big kegs. That's all he has out. And we around here in Southern Brunswick, we sneak it around when his stuff's coming out. He does Imperials, Joe. He does Imperials. He does Imperial IPAs. Everything. It's just amazing.
Didn't you and Nick do like a review at his place? I could have swore you guys were at his place.
We did.
You did a review. You did. Okay, that's the place. All right, I remember them. I remember him because I remember Nick in the review mentioning that he's like, oh, he brews it here, or whatever, and it looked like a fucking house. So I guess it was a house. It wasn't just imagining shit.
But he's got one coming out. Double Imperial, double chocolate, coconut porter stout.
I would fucking kill somebody. I would kill somebody. Did you say coconut?
Coconut, what?
Did someone say coconut? Because if you say coconut, like you probably should send me one or like 8 of them. Like
Coconut.
growlers, whole growlers.
Pushing around about 11.5%, 12%.
Oh, that's yeah. I want it. I do want it.
Yes. Well, we're stocking them right now. Shane Steves, the guy who owns it. We are stocking him, so when we can get it, we can get it.
No, you mean when you get it? When you fucking get it, Don, it's coconut. You will get it.
I put it all in my fucking jacket too.
Fuck. Yeah, that's
You have no idea how much we are stalking him to get that fucking beer.
Yeah, I don't. Hopefully I realize. Because I'm ready. I'm ready for some coconut.
On a side note, he's a really, really cool guy.
Viewers we have, none of you are talking to us right now, so we're going to go offline.
No, they don't fucking care, bro.
Fuck you guys.